This is when I pull a Sal and look at the camera. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. As you can see, we are not in studio, but we are here on the interwebs. I am Matt, and I will be your DM for today and forevermore until Sal breaks out of my basement and retakes his throne. Welcome to A Little Dicey. We have our regular players, Jamie and Garrett, with us today, as well as our new friend, Hannah. Hannah, welcome.
Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. So, I guess I'd call myself somewhat of a D&D newbie. I've only been playing the last couple of years, pandemic D&D year. I do theater, I do classical singing, I like to make things. That's me. Hi.
That's her. She's usually got, like cool jewelry and, interesting
I said
swag.
I had to wear the headphones. I couldn't wear like some cool earrings. But
Yes, of course. So Sal is off living his best life, and so today I will be presenting to the three lovely players and to all of you my one shot. This is my first real one shot that I've ever done. This is really like kind of some of the first DMing I've ever done. So we'll just see what happens. Just to lay a little groundwork, this will be in universe. This is in just like our normal Naladian Crown campaign, but not necessarily in the same timeline. So while the events of today are happening, doesn't necessarily mean that Kill and the gang are alive and well doing their thing. But
the gang.
Killing the gang. That's their new name.
In the Quillettes, if you will.
Yeah, Killing the Quillettes. What else can I say? Of course, we'll do a couple of quick announcements. I don't have any sponsorships or anything to announce, so I'll just go right into talking about our Discord. Of course, this call is happening through our Discord, and that is where we do all of our kind of direct communication with you guys. There is a poll out there for Saturday's podcast where Sal and I talk about D&D classes in terms of how well the mechanics support the flavor of the class. I have no idea who's winning right now. I think we're down to 6 classes, so we're definitely in the latter half, and we'd love to have you guys vote and kind of help us decide what we want to do. I personally had a great time doing those, so I hope you guys have enjoyed watching those on stream and on video on demand. If you have any friends, family, weird neighbors that you want to invite to the Discord and hang out with us, we'd love to see them. And it just helps the stream grow and helps us kick off all kinds of other cool projects that we want to do. Garrett, I'll kick it off to you.
Yeah, man. We got all sorts of social media. We'll have Mika link that. Mika is here today, by the way. She's just using their own Twitch because there they are.
I'm right here.
Because I am the one streaming today, so I have access to that. So don't talk about nothing you don't want me to hear, all right? Anyway, we got social media. We got like a TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. We're on Twitch. God damn it. TikTok, Instagram. Please interact with me on Twitter. It is mostly me losing my mind. We can talk shit. You can't talk shit.
You can't talk shit.
This is always what happens. I start doing my thing and immediately get derailed by someone making a stupid fucking comment.
Well. Oh my god, Dom.
Dom just said Garrett, am I right? And this is the first time in a while I haven't even mentioned how much my Twitter is just Dom bullying me.
Garrett, get wrecked.
He said, it's Garrett, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
all the time. We also we're in an interactive stream, and we mostly are today as well, I believe. The only thing is that we don't have a sorcerer, so Wild Magic Surge will not work. Other than that, you can still use whatever you want, Easter egg, etc., etc. Remember, there's 2 ways that you can interact with our stream. We have it right in the UI here, the stream elements, and then you can also do like exclamation point redeem. We'll do raffles for shit like that all the time. Mika's on it. Anyway, hey Jamie, how about all those friends of ours?
Yeah, be sure to check out our friends at superokpodcast.com. There's no the superokpodcast.com. Also, our friend Aaron can be found on Twitch at Little Bog Witch, and our friend Michaela can be found on Twitch at Hello Diddy.
And also can be found right off camera.
Yes, also
just on
they are.
screen.
Get that peace sign again.
They're right over
Wait,
here.
Wait.
They are
okay,
here.
okay, okay.
Yay!
Goofy.
Okay, thanks guys. What else did I say I was gonna say that I didn't say? Help me out.
That was everything.
Yeah, I think that's about
Okay.
everything.
This feels like a quiz.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
Hannah, have you been paying attention?
Before we went live, I said, oh, I'm also gonna say this at the top of the stream like 4 or 5 times. I'm pretty sure I didn't say all those things, but it's cool. All right, well, does anybody have any questions before we get started? Okay.
Let's jump in, baby.
Well, when last you met, you guys were sort of completing some of your last adventures together as a group of kind of upstart adventurers and treasure hunters. So you've had a few successes, a few failures, and you're basically living that dream. You know, kind of like a local regional band hitting the road and going gig to gig, getting by. You know, that's kind of that life that you guys are living. So recently, you you decided after a particularly kind of low reward venture to hire yourselves basically an adventuring manager to help you get better gigs. And so you know, he's a little shady, but he seems to be popular, and sure enough, you know, without too much time, he got you guys back on the road and off to your next adventure. One cool thing that you guys get from him is a map, but not just any map. Your manager uses Fey magic to enchant his maps. So as you guys are traveling around, sort of like, you know, like a certain map from a certain franchise, your position is sort of tracked on it so that you at least know where the fuck you're going. And that's a much better start than that time 2 adventures ago, am I right? So you currently find yourself in the back of a cart on a small trade road on your way to the small town of Brinehaven. The cart that you're in is basically a kind of a common goods wholesaler that goes sort of town to town to stock general stores. So, you know, you're piled in there with, you know, sort of large bags of grain and all that kind of basic stuff, sacks of flour, you know, some tools, all that kind of shit. And but you're almost there. You can almost smell the salty smell on the air as you get close to the sea. Brinehaven is a small fishing village. It's not really a major port, as it's not really super close to any other like big cities. It's not like there would be a major city that would use it to sort of transport goods or people. So it's largely a self-sufficient village, but it just so happens that it's sort of the closest, most convenient location for you to basically stop over at, and then hire a ship or hire a boat and head off sailing to your destination, which is somewhere in the Cerulean Ocean. You don't have a great idea where, but your map does. And so here you are on the trade road. If you want to, we'll go around and describe, if I was an eagle flying overhead, what 3 people would I see in the back of this cart? Jamie, we can start with you.
Okay. Should I say character name as well, or just
Yeah.
visual? Okay. So my character is Grimshot. Grimshot is a very short figure. I think probably even the other people in the group wouldn't necessarily know what race he is, but he is small sized and is wearing dark mithril half plate and a dark cloak around him. He's also wearing a it's called a dread helm, which is a magical item. And basically, it's a black helmet, and it actually basically makes his face in shadows. You can't see his face. It also makes his eyes glow red. So, a bit of a intimidating figure. Has a bow on his back, and is just sort of like sitting, kind of staring at everyone.
Very cool. That dread helm doesn't sound familiar at all. So while I go look at your character sheet to make sure that I understand what it does,
it literally just conceals my face and makes my eyes glow red.
Okay, cool. All right, fair enough. Those are the best items, the ones that that's all it does. Make me look cool. Garrett, let's go ahead and go to you.
All right.
Whoa. Can we read out that comment really quick?
Read out what comment?
This comment?
Okay, from TBD 1989. I've just spent the last 2 weeks binge watching through the Great Nillidian Crown from the start. I'm now joining my first D&D game. Gonna love watching you guys live for the first. Oh my god!
Awesome.
Oh, that is
Welcome.
so sweet.
Welcome, TBD. As we said, this is not the Great Nillidian Crown, but we'll have some of that.
If they've been binge watching.
Oh yeah, they
through it,
know.
They know.
That's awesome.
They know.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so happy to
That
hear
makes my heart smile.
That's very cool. Thank you for hanging out with us today and for catching up on the stream. You can help probably educate us on all the stuff that we forgot. Awesome.
All right. Anyway, my guy's name is Keston Rafalo. Usually just shortened to like Kes. He is a very tall, pale man. As an Aasimar, he is very attractive, but he's attractive in the like Edward Cullen sort of way. He's very like kind of gaunt, pale. His skin is almost like an ashen gray, and his hair is like a darker gray. You know, sometimes when you look at people and you just see that there is this like spark of life in them, Kes does not have that whatsoever. He almost looks like a walking doll, right down to the fact that his eyes are essentially just like pearls. At least they like look like it. They have that like pearlescent silverish color. There's no like iris or pupil or anything. It's just silver. He is wearing some dope but kind of plain plate armor and carrying a very Thor-esque warhammer along with a shield.
50 Shades of Grey.
Very cool. And last but certainly not least, Hannah, tell us about your first Petrichorian character.
Woo! So her name is Bree Rimble. You'll notice she is also quite small. She is a rock gnome. So she's got like slate-colored skin. She's probably sitting in the back of the thing, swinging her legs, looking extremely bored. She's got like a dusty purple pixie cut is what she's rocking, and then what she's wearing. Imagine Wesley from The Princess Bride, except for no mask and no. I think he wears like a headscarf, so like very black clothing, and she just looks so bored.
We are 3 Molgoths.
Did I mention that Kes is 6'4"?
He's basically the human in a Muppet.
Can we ride on your shoulders?
As Aasimar tend to be tall, like that's actually I think on the shorter end for an Aasimar. So I've got these 2 children.
That's
and
perfect.
we all look like we walked out of a Hot Topic.
Kes gets really upset when the 2 shorties don't walk on the sides of him, just because
It doesn't look right. It does not.
symmetry
look
is
right.
very important for aesthetics. And if we know anything about Mall Goths, they care a great deal about aesthetics.
Yes.
Cool. So you guys are now approaching Brinehaven. You have your enchanted map from your manager, Tommy Treelegs is his name, and he told you that whoever he got this location from, this tip from, told him to find the light in the darkness, to find the light in the darkness. Anything you guys wanna do before we get into town?
Right
Are
then.
we
So,
there yet?
what the fuck are we doing?
Absolutely nothing is what we're doing right now.
I believe we are supposed to look for the light in the darkness.
That sounds like some kind of fucking metaphor or something.
I like darkness.
I'm glad you explained that
fun.
to me. I was looking for an actual light in actual darkness.
Right, I don't think that's what he meant.
Okay.
Okay then, never mind.
Cool.
End of conversation, let's go.
As the birds fly overhead, hoping to, every once in a while one flies down and takes a little peck at some loose grain that's kind of fallen out of a sack as the cart has gone over some bumps. You guys enter the village of Brinehaven. The cart, the horse-drawn cart, pulls right up into the town and heads towards the general store. As you guys enter, it's a very plain, simple kind of, what do they call it? Like a one light town, or where there's like one intersection with a, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This village is basically self-sufficient and small and isolated. The houses are all roughly the same, just simply made out of wood and metal. The roads continue to be just basically dirt. And the thing that stands out the most, just as you start to enter the town, is the people, the populace. It's definitely not a large settlement by any means, but the people seem to be out and about. There seems to be a general kind of carefree vibe. They're living that simple life, and it's kind of a low stress, low ambition type of place. But aside from the vibe, the people all seem to have a kind of an interesting color palette. Their skin, while they all don't look exactly the same, their skin is often shades of blue or green. Many of their hair is similarly shades of blue or green, although there's a smattering of other colors and shades, some white, some silver, some black. It probably would occur to you that again, the isolation of this town has largely created kind of a shared lineage.
That's not plugged in.
So you're now the horse and cart pulls up, stops, and time for you guys to get out.
I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the driver and say, thank you for the ride. I don't have any money on me, but perhaps I could interest you in, and he like goes into his bag for a second, a wooden stake.
Actually, they already paid me. It's fine.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
By the way, you guys have 20 gold pieces to your name as a group right now.
Total.
Total.
Okay.
So as a group, you have the items in your inventory. You also have 20 gold pieces as a group. That's sort of what's left over after you've paid your way here. So that's after you've paid this horse and cart driver. So you get out of the cart. You're in front of the general store. You also just kind of as you came in, you've noticed a number of other, aside from just like residential houses, there's a few other things that appear to be shops. One place kind of has that general vibe of a place of worship, it's kind of up to you. Again, you have the map. You know that your next destination is on the sea, and so depending on your mood, you can take the time to look around, or you can kind of just be on your way as quickly as possible. It is kind of mid to late morning, I would say, and you don't really have a deadline to do the thing, but obviously the sooner the job's done, the sooner you get paid. so to speak.
Can I
Right.
give Cass
and this-
a little knock on his armor and say, have you ever seen people like this before?
No, this is more colorful than I'm used to.
They're really cool looking.
Some of these people are blue.
Some of
That's
them are
fine.
indeed.
Most of them.
That's okay. For the record,
Some of these people look different, and
extra-
I'm okay with that.
Extra just rated us a little bit ago. I didn't want to interrupt the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Extra.
What up, Extra?
Right.
Right.
Well, maybe if we're going into the sea and maybe light in the darkness is like the name of a ship. I'm gonna head to the docks and look for someone like that.
Okay. Should we get anything for the
Nice.
the ship?
DM drinks also.
DM drinks. Ha ha ha.
Hang on, I'll be right back.
Tell you what, I happen to have some sake right here.
I have some. I'm gonna drink this bagel.
Nice.
A wet
Blend it.
bagel.
Blend it up.
Ew.
Do we need anything for the ship? Are there special sailing clothes?
What the fuck
I
is
don't-
sailing clothes?
Clothes that you sail in?
Clothes that you would wear while sailing. Much like you
I
would
suppose
have.
if you wear them, they're sailing clothes, right?
I mean, I think I guess we're wearing sailing clothes probably then. If we can just wear this on the boat, right?
Okay.
Unless you want, like, I guess we could do like special boat outfits. I don't know what that would
Or
look
maybe
like.
some swimming goggles or something.
Like sailor uniforms or something. I don't think we need new clothes.
Okay. Thank you for answering the question.
I was gonna ask. Oh, we don't know how long this journey is going to be, do we?
Let's see, make a survival check. If you happen to have, just because Kill does, if you happen to have cartography skills, you could add those.
I got a nat 1 for a total of 6.
A nat 1, you're pretty sure you'll be there in 2-3 hours.
Let's just go. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go find the ship.
That's a DM chugs.
Oh, we have a DM Chugs from Extra. The
see,
second
that's
you
true.
got a drink.
That's going to be a problem, because there's a lot of booze in this. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get a different thing to chug. Be right back again!
Oh, God. Chaotic. I love it, Extra.
I gotta say, I'm itching to see what this light in the dark thing is, so I just want to go.
I thought it was gonna be like a riddle or something, but I think it's probably just the name of a ship. Is my guess.
What if it is a torch in the middle of a room with no windows?
I guess that would also qualify as.
Isn't all light technically in the dark? Like
That's true.
it's
Like,
dark,
it's not
and then
really
the light.
like, yeah, like how would you know if it wasn't in the darkness? A little bit. I mean, if we think about it, like I don't know what like our current knowledge of like cosmology is, but like I assume we're like in space and stuff. So. Oh, it's darkness now.
I'm going to say,
I
I'm going to say a
suppose you're
shot
correct.
counts as the chugs.
Sure.
Yeah, sure,
Fair
why
enough.
not? You have been encouraged to take that. It's
Yes.
suggested to you.
Hey, bingo.
Great suggestion.
That's specifically Matt, though. Hannah actually just blew our minds, I think.
Blow my
No,
mind.
I just ruined the whole game.
Said all light is technically
All
in the
light.
darkness, and that's just a fact.
Technically, the darkness just is, and the light is an illusion.
Aren't we all the light in the darkness if you think about it?
Kess points to the sun. I think that is the light in the darkness then.
Right. So we
I've
have to
never
go
been to the
into the
sun.
sun.
That
This
would be
does
an
not sound
experience.
like a very well-paying mission.
Fair enough. Anyway, I
Let's go
remember.
look for a boat, you
Idea's a good
guys.
one. Let's look for the boat. I think that's a good idea. I think
Okay,
that's probably
let us look for
a
the
good
boat
start.
or a boat.
Cool. I mean, you're not, you may not be the seafaring bunch, but you obviously know that the Cerulean Ocean is to the south of you. And you look up at the sun, and I'm not going to make you roll for this. You're like, that's probably that way.
You look into the sun, make a con check to not be blinded.
Uh-huh. Mhm. Yep. Make a strength saving throw to not be lifted by the light of the Lord.
Oh, do I have disadvantage because I'm an Asimar?
Yeah, for
By the way,
sure.
this one shot is very Christian.
Yeah. I'm sick of,
This is-
people turning away from Christ.
This isn't one of those secular one shots, okay?
I just imagine a one shot where all you have to do is look up to the light of the Lord and you get taken to heaven, and that's it.
That's it. Very
You did
short.
It can be
Yeah,
a
devil.
2-minute one shot.
The devil has been defeated. So you guys start heading. You guys start heading south. In fact, I think Grimshot is like, I'm pretty sure south is the other way. Still rolling off that nat one. The rest of you guys are able to convince him. And you
Pretty
head
sure
not.
South isn't here, you guys leave us into like a pub.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure south is straight down. You guys take maybe like a 10-minute walk in a given direction, and again, the closer you get, you start to smell that sea breeze, that titular brine that the village is kind of named after, and you see in the distance, just kind of over the horizon, a simple marina, not more than 10 boats, varying sizes, but clearly these are not meant to feed large cities or large swaths of the realms, but more just for the people here, and probably some for trade, as again these wholesalers come in, and there might be some bartering that gets done.
Wholesalers? I sure hope they are.
Wholesalers, more
Short
like
trip.
the sailor's hole. Anyway, so you guys head towards the docks.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. You head down to the docks, and there's sort of like one long pier. There's a handful of basically like kids running up and down the pier, just sort of playing. There's a couple of people posted at the end, just kind of sitting at the edge of the dock, at the edge of the pier, feet dangling, doing some fishing right there. In the meantime, there's some smaller docks that hold some smaller boats. There's one or two larger vessels, and there's a number of people just kind of milling about. One guy is just kind of like got a piece of seagrass sticking out of his mouth. He's kind of just chewing on it. There's just like a very chill vibe among everybody in this town. But as you approach, the guy kind of chewing on seagrass. Obviously, you guys stick out a little bit in this town. The 6'4" Malgoth and the 2 3-foot Malgoths. He sort of is chewing away and then just sort of stops, and then looks up at you guys. And by the way, everybody here speaks in a convenient Midwest regional accent.
Oh, perfect.
So he looks up at you guys and just says, "New to town, I guess."
Real quick, we just got raided again by Fumble folks with a party of 13.
Holy shit, Fumble folks!
Hey guys!
Hey, welcome to a little Dicey. Normally, we're in a beautiful studio, looking beautiful, and today we're doing this, looking beautiful. And we're happy to have you beautiful people with us. Everyone by definition on a Dicey stream is hot, and that includes the chat, the viewers. So thanks for thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy the game. We have like I said, we have an in studio recurring campaign. We're on episode 28, I believe, is coming up, and that's been over the last year plus. Today we're doing a one shot that is in our homebrew world of Petrichor, but is not necessarily happening at the same time as our main campaign, as we have our normal DM Sal is off living life. So I'm Matt, and these are our players, and I hope you have a good time.
Okay, he's chewing his seagrass.
Yeah, chewing on a seagrass, notices you guys and basically just says, "Hey, you guys must be new here."
Is he also green?
Yeah, this
Flesh blue?
I can describe this gentleman. This gentleman's probably a little bit on the taller side of most of the people. His particular shade of skin is a little bit on the greener side. He has he's got more of like a grass green skin, but then more of a turquoise hair color. He's got it's kind of a basic like, leading man haircut, and he's just wearing comfortable clothes, and again he just looks very relaxed. He does have he's sort of leaning, while he was chewing on his seagrass, he's kind of leaning on like a wood railing, and he does have some kind of light fishing gear next to him. You can tell he probably came here to maybe fish a little bit, but it's not really a priority at the moment. So yeah.
Yes, we are quite new. We rolled into town on a cart about 5-10 minutes ago.
That's bulky as fuck.
Well, that's about as new as it gets, and yeah, the road is a little rough, but what brings you here?
A cart.
We're looking for a ship.
Looking for something called the light in the darkness.
Yeah, that too.
Listen,
The light in the darkness.
Kess's wisdom is literally 4. That's my wisdom score. I'm sorry. It's not even me just being an asshole. Like.
Perfect.
It's free range to be an asshole.
Well, I don't know about the light and the darkness necessarily, but sorry, that kind of took me out of it. What did the rest of you guys say?
A boat, a ship.
A boat. Oh,
Yes.
Okay. I can't help with the light and the darkness, but I could help you with the boat. Most of these people here, everybody has their own vessels. I don't know. You've only been here 10 minutes. You probably don't know much about this place. We're kind of self-sufficient, so there's no charter company or anything. But if you're looking to go somewhere, I'm sure one of us would be happy to take you. Is it just the 3 of you?
Yeah.
I think so.
Right.
Yep. Just the 3 of us.
Okay. And whereabouts you want to go?
Grimshot, you have the map, correct?
Yeah, let's look at this thing.
Are you holding it like facing out to me or facing to you?
I mean, should I make a roll?
You have to hold it up so we can see it.
Yeah, I'm
No,
just
you
like
Just
it's covering my
record.
entire face.
Okay.
You want me to take the other side? We'll hold it like.
You're displaying it like a giant banner at like a Red Sox game. Everything.
Again, I don't really know where we're going, do I?
No, and in fact, even less
Right,
when you started.
I don't know where we're going.
He takes the map from you, gently at first to make sure that you sort of let him, and then he takes it and
It's like get
looks-
picked up off the ground.
yeah. Oh, that's right. He reaches down, picks it up. Yeah, this guy's probably about. The people in this town are actually, by and large, fairly tall. There's definitely some shorter folks, but this guy's probably a little shorter than Kess. Being one of the taller ones that you've seen, he's probably in that kind of 6'2", 6'3" range. So he leans down, picks up the map, looks at it for a second. Let me make a little roll here. Yeah. He looks at it for a second, and then he kind of, you can see his expression changed a little bit. Like, is this okay? He sees like a little. There's kind of like a let's not get in trouble. Let's not say footprints. Let's say there's actually like 3 little tiny icons that look like you that are sort of like doing a little hamster dance right in the where Brinehaven is on the map. He sees the images, looks up at you, and he's like, he puts it together. Oh shit! Okay. And looks to where the destination is highlighted.
Yeah, it's
says,
got one of them graphical interfaces on it.
Yeah. I see you got a GUI here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was on Linux.
He says, well, this will probably be, it'll probably take most of today to get there. Might even go overnight, but, I could take you if you want to go. I have one of the smaller ships. It probably makes more sense for if it's just going to be the 3 of you. What are you looking to? I'll have to charge you, of course. What are you looking to? I'm thinking maybe five gold pieces would do it. It's an overnight trip.
Sounds fine. 5 gold.
Wait, does that sound fair to me? I don't.
Is there a praise?
Yeah.
I guess
maybe
you
I
can
could call it an
choose.
insight roll, I would guess.
Well, you can choose to roll insight, meaning do you think he's like swindling you, or make like a general intelligence check just about like what do I think this boat trip would
I would say
cost?
general intelligence because I don't think Kess would even occur to him that someone would lie. Why would someone do that? I also have been given guidance, so from Pity Pingu.
So make a general intelligence check and add a d4.
I rolled a 12 on the die plus 1 on the d4, so 13 plus 2, 15.
Okay. You consider this for a minute. You guys, what is Kess's intelligence, Garrett?
14. He's smart.
Yeah, he's pretty smart. So you see him. It's not like steam's coming out of his ears and he's like really trying to do the math, but he's just considering it for a minute. Garrett, Kess thinks that is probably a little pricey, but it's not crazy. Like he's probably just doesn't really need the money and is willing to do it, but that's what seems fair to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, I don't think I'll speak up at all. Just like, just slightly pricey or whatever.
Okay. Well, perfect. I do have to ask though. This is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Are you meeting somebody out there, or what's the deal?
Well, we told you we're looking for a light in the darkness.
Oh, which
right.
Grimshot believes is a metaphor.
Yeah, it's either a boat or a metaphor. It's one of those things.
Okay, so we're just gonna get in my boat and head out there for 12, 18 hours and look for a metaphor.
Yes,
Can I have
exactly.
one of those grass things too? What is that you got in your mouth there?
Oh, well, this one's dried.
No,
I don't have any.
Want the one that you've got.
Well, I assume not. But I don't have any more of the dried ones. But I mean, you could get them in the general store. They sell them as like, just kind of like, not really snacks, but kind of like I don't know, just something to amuse yourself. But as you can see, and or when you were walking up, you sort of first took stock of the people and the ships. You didn't really get a good look, but from where you're standing now, you actually have a good look of sort of the bay, so to speak, that opens out into the Cerulean Ocean. And what's particularly interesting about, between the DM drinks and the DM chugs, I got some burps. Thank you, by the way. Delicious. But anyway, as you're looking out into this bay, it's actually pretty interesting and unique. You've been to the sea. Well, I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys if you think you've been to the sea before. But for anyone that has been to the sea before, this is different in that right near the base of, basically by the shoreline, there's thick there's thick seagrass in general, but also amongst the seagrass are kind of there's like water lilies and other aquatic plants that appear to have been planted for aesthetic purposes. They don't see, they don't. They're very colorful, very kind of interesting looking. You can't think of any function for them. There's kind of like a, sort of a amphibious garden has been planted all along here, kind of like a landscaping you might think. And then the seagrass goes thick quite a ways out. In the sort of sea of seagrass, there are trenches that look like they have been cut out to give ships sort of easy access to get out into the larger water without disturbing them. But there's kind of this like seagrass forest is probably a strong word, but definitely a unique sight. This guy just kind of gestures like plenty of flora to pluck yourself if you want. But if you want some of the dried stuff, you're gonna have to pick it up from the general store.
Nah, I'm impatient. I'll just grab some.
Yeah, you can walk down to the shore, and it's just kind of like a 20-second walk around the fence post down to the shoreline, and right there you can pluck some yourself.
Oh, are we going? Are we?
It comes out. It's wet. It's soggy.
We could talk more about grass if we want to. Or
hangs limp. Yeah, let me explain about the limpness of the grass. It's super limp.
Just use it.
Yeah, it's limp and juicy, baby, just the way you like it. Just the way Bree likes it. Focus this person.
Or something.
My filth has made my camera unfocus on me permanently. How do I fix it?
Hold up your hand.
There we go.
There we go.
Need to do a couple of Hail Marys.
There you go.
We did it. Okay. Cool. Yeah, so you pluck your grass. And that's it. The guy watches you do this, and then says, I'm Alar, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Alar. My name is Keston Rafalo.
Keston?
I'm Bree. Hi.
Hi, Bree.
Grimshot.
Nice to meet the three of you. It'll take me, I don't know, maybe an hour to get the boat ready. No rush. I'll be here when you're ready. You might want to... He kind of looks at you guys, and you don't, like, seem to have a lot of, like, stuff with you. So he just sort of says, like, just make sure you get whatever you need before we get out, because, it'll
Do we need boat clothes?
He looks down, like, at his own clothes, and he's just like, boat clothes. I think you're good, but, whatever's comfortable.
Okay.
It's pretty, I guess I'll just say, like, it's pretty warm here. I mean, you're basically on the southern end of the continent. It probably, kind of, it's one of those things, like, depending on who you are, some people get cold at night in the summer, and other people are like, you're insane for wearing a sweater. But, think like, that. So yeah, go do what you need. If you have any questions about the town, I can answer them real quick, and then I'll kind of do my thing, and I'll meet you back here.
Okay, that sounds good to
All
me.
right.
Might try some of the dried stuff. This stuff's a little
Yeah, it's better when it's
bitter.
dried out.
Yeah.
To the general store, then.
Right, I'm headed to the pub. I'm gonna go get fucking blasted.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea before a boat trip. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Unrelated question. How do you do with seasickness?
I have no idea.
Have you been on a boat
never
before,
been on a
Grimshot?
boat. I think
No.
that's a no.
All right. I'll pack the bucket. I'll see you guys back here. Like I said, I'll be here when you're ready.
I'm pretty
And
sure I can handle myself. All right.
All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. And with no questions for Alar, he heads off, and kind of presumably starts to pack the boat up. Grimshot, I don't know if you necessarily saw the pub on your way in, but there is one, and if you just wander about for a few minutes, I'm sure that you can find it. It, you know, there's not that many buildings in this town at all, and it's, if you rule out all the things that are clearly houses and you rule out the thing that looks churchy as hell, you already know where the general store is. That doesn't leave too many options. So before too long, you're able to find the bar, no problem. The other two of you, if you want to head to the general store, you know where it is.
I want to get dried grass and a boat shirt. He's convinced
Perfect.
me.
Perfect.
I know where Grimshot will be. Bree might go anywhere after this. In the interest of keeping track of my party, I think I have to go with Bree.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Grimshot, you.
Child-sized boat shirt.
Yeah.
Is there a picture of a boat on it, or what it look like?
Sure.
Yeah.
If I can find one with
The
a picture
shirt
boat on it.
also works
It
as
just,
a boat.
it just says the word boat on it.
Just a boat shirt.
Boat shirt. I heart boats. Grimshot, you're able to find the pub easy enough. This place is like, it's one of those things where it's such a small town, they don't really even bother to like name it or advertise it. It's just like, it's kind of the one building with saloon doors, you know what I mean? You just like kind of know when you see it. You can walk right in. I mean, it is like the mid to late morning still, so not too many people in here. When you walk in, there's a couple of folks sitting down. They have something in their glasses, and they're just kind of shooting the shit. One person behind the bar. Otherwise, generally, it's pretty, kind of empty.
I'll walk up to the bar.
Yeah, the bartender is kind of the bartender's actually like having one of those conversations, those small town things where like everybody's just yammering on and they don't really notice. You walk up, the bartender and the other two people are just talking about like I don't know, the fucking yesterday's catch or whatever, and then one of the people, we lost Hannah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, I'll keep going while she rejoins since she's not in the
Yeah,
scene.
since we're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a combination of like small town gossip and some actual practical information. And the bartender doesn't even notice your short stature walk up. The two people at the table, they are, one of them is quite a bit shorter, looks to be maybe female, but these people here tend to be like somewhat androgynous. The person that she's with is another again, like they both look like they could be females, but you wouldn't walk up to them and be like, oh, when are you due, that kind of thing. And
do you do that to regular
I
women
noticed
just on the street?
I assume you're capable of pregnancy.
yeah, no,
And therefore you must be.
do that. I don't do that, but people do that.
No, I know. Right.
Anyway, and the two people in conversation, again, they have different shades of that bluish green. The taller one actually has, they're a little bit on the greener side again, and they actually have what looks like maybe some protruding tusks, small protruding tusks. The other one that's smaller, like significantly shorter, one of the shorter people you've seen in town, white hair, skin is a little bit on the bluer side, and then the person behind the bar looks to be probably male, sort of medium, longer hair this time. His hair is more of like a sea green, skin a little bit more on the blue side, and yeah, again, like I said, he doesn't notice you.
I think I walk up and just fully interrupt their conversation and just be like, right, hello, I'm looking to get extremely drunk in a very short amount of time. I'm looking for something just absolutely disgusting.
The two people at the table, they start giggling to each other like a couple of teenagers when like a British person shows up. You know what I mean? Like they just think that your accent is like either silly or really cute. You're not really sure which one. Mm-hmm. The bartender sort of like rolls his eyes and looks down at you. You want uh, something really disgusting? Is that what you said?
Yeah, just very like utilitarian. Just get me fucking ruined.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I use. He leans down, grabs a bottle. He says, "I use this to clean the griddle, actually. But technically, I mean, it'll work."
Yeah, that works.
It's
With
vinegar.
lemon, please.
With
He needs a supervisor.
yeah, he pours a like sort of like a finger of it into a glass, um, and goes, "We don't have lemons." He grabs like this like weird like gourd you've never seen before, and he's just like, "Yeah, this will work." And he sort of like cracks it like an egg and opens it up, and you're just like, "I don't know what the fuck this is." But some splooge from this gourd lands in your drink, and he kind of swirls it, and then he hands it over to you.
Yeah, this may as well happen, and I'll drink it.
I love that grim shot right now. It's just like dark indigo.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. The the gourd splooge tastes like actually like a surprisingly decent substitution for lemon. It's got like a little bit of like brightness to it. It does have the splooge texture. It sticks to your throat a little bit as it goes down, but it's not even the worst part of the drink. This shit is like acrid. It's clearly this is the equivalent of like $3, like a $3 handle, you know what I mean?
A 5 o'clock vodka.
Yeah. He says, honestly, I feel bad even charging you. That was kind of just watching you drink it was kind of worth it. We'll just call that one on the house.
All
The
right,
two
my plan worked. Wonderful.
the two girls at the table, they giggle at that, and they're kind of just like trying not to look at you, but also kind of looking at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll try to just pound it just pound the thing.
Oh yeah, this is like down the hatch.
Attempt
You really
to.
try to open up your throat so that none of that stuff gets caught. It still gets caught a little bit. Kind of grabs at your throat like someone eating a live squid. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like grabbing at you on the way down. But anyway, it goes down nonetheless. We'll cut back to Kess and Bree. You guys get to the general store. You walk in, and this is like an old-timey general store in the sense that there's not like aisles or like a storeroom to like peruse. It's literally like you walk in and there's like a counter with a window, and there's like a menu on the side, and it's got like some like stuff that they always have. But you could probably figure out that like basically this is one of those places where you're just like you give them what you want and they go back and get it and bring it to you. They don't have enough things to bother making like a storeroom for people to peruse the merchandise. A relatively short person, again, the same, a different shade. Everybody here has a shade of blue green skin with sort of like kind of like a throw a dart at it mixture of other features. And she is no exception to that. She walks up and she I imagine she sees Kess right away and it's just like, hi, what can I get you?
Oh,
Yeah, no, wait.
Oh.
Do you have a boat shirt? A boat shirt. Do you know what I'm talking about?
A boat shirt.
A boat shirt.
like a
shirt
shirt-
someone would wear on a boat.
Oh, you mean like a shirt?
A boat shirt.
one made for wearing on a boat.
Yes.
Oh, she thinks about this for a minute and she goes, a boat shirt, of course. And she walks back into the back.
Doesn't come
And-
back out.
She comes out. She takes like long enough that she just didn't like go to the rack and pick up a boat shirt and then come like out. But she comes back out
She's stenciling on a
in
boat
like
in the
a few
back room.
minutes, and it's kind of like it kind of looks like she took one of like the grain sacks and cut some like armholes in it.
We got a party drinks, by the way.
Oh, party drinks.
Cheers.
Yeah, it looks like she sort of took like one of the grain sacks and like cut some armholes in it, so it's just sort of like a children's costume. And she's like, boat shirt.
It doesn't look like the one that our friend was wearing. Are you sure that's a boat shirt?
What friend?
Oh, I already forgot his name.
Oh,
Alar.
well. Oh, Alar?
Alar.
Yeah. Well, see the thing is he's a practiced sailor, and so he actually doesn't need a boat shirt anymore. But if you're clearly a novice, it's probably safe if you take this boat shirt.
I'm gonna feel the boat shirt. Does it feel terrible?
Oh yeah, it's like fucking burlap. This is gonna give you raw ass nipples for sure.
Ooh.
Maybe I don't want to live.
Well, you're
with
not
both.
wearing it on your ass, Matt. Your ass nipples will be fine.
That's true. That's true.
What the fuck?
How much do you want for the boat shirt?
I'll tell you what. You guys are obviously new here. You can just have the boat shirt as long as you wear it. I just want to see you wear it. It'd make me very proud.
I like that everyone in this town has a sense of humor.
I was just gonna get it just in case, but I guess I just put it on over top of. I'm gonna just put it over top of my black long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, it's she didn't like anticipate quite how short you are. It like goes fully to the bottom of your legs. You have kind of that thing like I don't remember how old you are, but I think you're pretty close to my age. You have kind of that thing where you have like the long jeans and they just get like coated in like snow and mud, you know, because they like actually go under the bottom of your shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
you
it
have that
worn
going
off.
on. Yeah, exactly. You have that going on. Oh yeah, I just heard the music come back on. All right, cool. No worries.
Oh no, the stream didn't hear you.
Are we good?
No, I muted my own mic because there's a blender going on.
Oh, okay.
I muted my mic for the stream.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, the music just popped back on. I don't know why it wasn't. It had muted itself somehow.
No worries. So anyway, you have your boat shirt. It looks, it's in the eye of the beholder. For me, Matt, your DM, it looks incredible. This person looks pleased at the way that you look as well.
Hey, can I pull it off? Do I pull it off? Like, do I tie like a little sash around my waist?
Oh yeah, like you put a little. You take like, I don't know. You got some like this is fantasy world, so you definitely have like 7 belts. You take one of your 7 belts and you wrap it around the boat shirt and give it a little waist. It looks great. So you're going on a boat. Any other supplies
Grass.
you need? Are you going off
Grass.
long?
We need grass.
Oh, you mean the like the chew? Or you mean
grass. You like the,
She sees cats do that, and she's just like gives you like a look, like
the little like the.
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. She goes She goes in the back, and she comes out. She's got like basically like essentially like a 10-pack. There's like 10 dried. They're like smoke dried, and they're wrapped with like a little piece of twine. It's basically like the equivalent of like a pack of gum, and she gives it to you, and she's like,
Now,
okay.
These are less bitter than the like raw ones, right?
Well, I don't know about less bitter, but they are, they're not slimy, and the smoke gives it some nice flavor. I think you might like it.
Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. And you, can I get you anything? She looks at you, Cass. Oh, Blender's still going. Okay. All right. Okay. So
I don't hear anything. I mean, should we be hearing or?
Yeah.
Oh, it's being okay. So we're not. Okay.
So for the chat, Garrett's got to be muted for I don't know the next minute or who knows. But anyway, yeah. So somebody's making like margaritas for fucking I don't know school bus. Those are the people that drink margaritas or school children. Anyway,
I think I'm good now.
Yeah. So she So you picked up some of the local specialties. You got your dried seagrass, and you have your boat shirt. Nope, you should never come to Brinehaven without getting those two things. Any of the kind of the usuals
no,
you
like,
need? You need any?
I went to Brianhaven and all I got was this stupid boat shirt, like
Yeah.
t-shirt or anything.
Yeah. It actually says that on the back of your boat shirt. She wrote that in.
She said that's
yeah.
why it took so long.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she was doing.
Just looking around the store, is there anything that's like interesting, or is it just like dried food goods and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, again, you can't really like walk in and look around the store, but like just from your experience with like general stores in general, is a lot of times because they basically cater to locals. Like you're basically looking at like basic tools, basic clothes, like food rations, sort of that common mundane stuff. Occasionally in like a bigger town that caters more to like that has a lot of adventurers coming through, they might have a handful of they might have a few magic items or like a couple of nice weapons or something. You could probably venture to guess this is not one of those places.
Okay.
So you're basically looking at that other stuff.
Is there anything that I should get for a half-day's sale that might be useful besides rations?
In a boat shirt.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a boat shirt, I mean, look at her. I mean, it speaks for itself. If you want a boat shirt, I can definitely give you a boat shirt. Otherwise, just if you want to pack some food and water, basic essentials,
I've already got food and water. I believe I am set, although I do appreciate you asking.
Well, good. Hey, and this boat shirt, I think you're really gonna make memories in it.
Thank you.
You guys have a great time on your voyage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And she sort of gives like a little wave, and as she turns around, if you're one of the more perceptive folks, you might notice like a little like laugh under her breath, and she's just like kind of pleased with herself. If you're less perceptive, you wouldn't notice a thing.
Yeah. My passive perception is 7, baby.
Yeah, Cass definitely doesn't notice. Bree, you got a 12 passive.
Yeah.
You probably don't notice either. Yeah. All right. So back to Grimshot. You're in the bar. You're thrown back one of these fucking gourd vodkas. It's not good, but it is free, and that's important.
Nothing tastes better than free. Right. So, what do you people do for fun around here?
I forgot who was behind the bar for a second. The guy's just like, kind of all the basic stuff. The kids play, the folks get together and shoot the shit. Some people come in here and play, maybe play some cards or some games. Some people take a more, they go out on the boats and relax. But, in general, we don't work that hard, so we don't have to play that hard,
Sounds pretty nice.
It's a good life. I grew up here, and I don't ever plan on leaving.
Nice, and also kind of depressing, I guess, a little bit.
Well,
Just
that's
sort of all we like. What are we even here for?
No, I don't. But if that's the way you feel, then it just means that this is probably not your final destination.
That's right. Yeah, we're going out to the water or something.
Okay. It's a beautiful day. It's supposed to be clear skies, smooth water. Hope you have a good voyage. I wouldn't recommend having too many more of those before you go out. It can, like I said, it's supposed to be good weather, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, all right. I was just kind of looking to get a little bit fucked up before I went out there.
I
Like
feel
just the right
you.
amount of fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I could make you one more of those.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. He looks off to the two girls at the table and just kind of like,
What's that
You seeing
gold
this?
thing, by the way, that I already ate?
oh, this
What did I
is
just put in my body, by the way?
yeah, this is called a fucking egg fruit. This is an egg fruit.
Wonderful. Very disgusting.
Yeah, you know what?
Is canon?
Well, we don't traditionally citrus doesn't grow well in warm weather, as we all know. So we have to grow egg fruit here.
Right, yes, of course. Botany, yes.
The good news is it lasts a real long time. That egg fruit's probably been here for, I don't know. What do you think? And one of the girls is like, he's like, yeah, it's been a while. I'm actually glad to use him up. He pulls out another egg fruit, cracks it on the glass, splooges into the
It's like
into
jar
the
of
cup.
fucking like eggs that like bars have sometimes. Just like weird like most
the
weird
pickled
weird-
egg jar.
No, but he's got pickled egg fruit. Yeah. Yeah, he's got like, there's like two crusty fresh egg fruits that he's now put in your glasses, and then there's like, yeah, the big jar of like
Crusty,
pickled egg fruits.
fresh.
And it's in a brine, and there's like some like maybe some garlic cloves and some like random shit in there. You're not really sure. And again, like God knows how long that's been there. But he cracks you another egg fruit. This one's this one's a little sploogier. It's a little sploogier. It kind of like clings to the rim of the fruit. He kind of has to give it like a nice firm shake to get it to come out. It plops in the glass with a audible plop, and he pours some of that acrid, horrible, clear liquor over top and hands it your way.
Right. This is probably what I deserve. And just drink it.
Cheers. Best of luck.
Oh,
Better to pay your dues here than out on the sea.
That's right, yeah. You get bad karma now, you get good karma when you're out there. That's how it works.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's how it works. Thanks, Grim.
Using up all my nat ones now.
Yeah. You know what? Just for fun, let's make a Constitution saving throw.
I can't believe it
Yeah,
took this
probably
long.
Probably should. Okay. I actually got a nat 19 for 21.
roll for splooge gore.
Very, very good. So, the thing is, this alcohol doesn't bother you at all. You're used to drinking. You're the kind of guy that just likes to get fucked up on the cheap. This stuff, honestly, doesn't bother you at all. The egg fruit is like, it's making sure you remember it. You know what I mean? It's not thinking about making a return appearance at this point, but it's like, you're gonna remember me.
This is one of those Chekhov's guns of drinks.
Yeah, so he just goes about, doing his barman thing, wiping up the counter, whatever. Yeah, unless you have anything else to say to him, he just goes off and does his thing and gives you kind of a farewell, good luck on the sea.
Yeah. I'll just kind of chill here until my friends show up.
Yeah, cool. Kess and Bree, do you have anything else you want to do, or do you want to just head to the pub and meet up with Gripshot?
Okay, yeah.
You guys reconvene at the pub. As you, it's probably been not quite an hour. So you got a few minutes to chill here if you want. Otherwise, you could just head down to the docks and wait for Alor to show up.
Sorry, it's good.
I was gonna say, as a paladin, the only thing that would really get my attention is if someone in this pub were being horny, which I would immediately put a stop to.
Well, it is
10 o'clock in a bar on a Tuesday.
so you guys walk in. You clock the same people. You clock the bartender, who's now away from Gripshot at the other end of the bar, just kind of like washing glasses or whatever. You do clock the two girls. They're still giggling and like glancing over at Gripshot from time to time. you think to yourself, could be horny. Why don't you go ahead and roll whatever the fuck.
Insight.
Insight.
Horny
Yeah.
check. Hand check.
That's a 16.
A 16.
I rolled a 19 on the side.
All right, I will leave it to you with a 16, especially because you rolled a 19. Objectively, Kess has no way to know, so I'll leave it to you what you think is his, like, where he would leap if he's feeling confident about a read.
I think Keston believes in the goodness of people, so I think if he's feeling confident, they're not being horny.
Okay,
They're just having a good time.
that's fair. Totally fair. The girls at this moment, the girls clock you as well, and they sort of like make like a surprise face, and then they like lean in and they start giggling even harder. And they, after like a second or two, they actually just like get up and like walk away into like a further corner of the pub.
If anyone was horny, I was gonna cast sleep on them. I just want that to be known.
Perfect.
Sleep it off.
As soon as these two approach, I go, "Hey, Cass, drink this." And I'll
Okay.
hand you my drink.
I just
Well,
slam it
I
back.
want to try.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, you
I'll
too.
take a sip.
Oh, that is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can say that Gripshot had a couple lined up for you guys when you approached.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, why
It's a new
not?
experience. It's not as it's worse than the grass.
Yeah, Gotcha.
That was unpleasant.
that's right. Yeah,
Is this what they drink here?
it's what I drink here.
Maybe it's a good thing we're leaving.
By the way, I think the music is gone. I don't see the. watch
it
this
just
window.
faded. It just faded out for me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It should be coming back in a second.
Okay, cool, no problem. I don't hear it very loud, but as long as you guys hear it, it's I don't hear
I
it at
think
all.
maybe
As
it's
long
playing
as
for
you
the
guys hear
stream,
it.
not for us.
Oh
Okay.
wait, is my stream still going?
No, I don't think it is. At least mine. It's not on mine.
Okay, that's.
Stream can hear it, but
Wait,
As long as
The
I mean,
stream's
I
still
don't.
live?
you can hear it like
Yeah.
through the stream?
yeah. Well, no, I can hear it through my headphones, which means the stream.
No, you're hearing it because your headphones are connected to my computer.
Did we drop the stream?
Do you,
Okay, just go. with
Yeah,
it.
I don't
You're
see
good.
this.
I don't-
all right. This is gonna be dumb for a second.
I'm okay. I mean, as long as the stream can hear, I think that's the more important thing. I'm okay
Yeah.
with not hearing it
We're
myself.
not if the stream is still
Yeah,
live.
I'm sure it can hear it.
At least
What?
at least I'm not.
Oh,
Like the
yeah,
stream?
yeah. No,
Oh, the stream's up.
our stream, as in like the people watching, they can hear it. It's
Oh,
only
okay,
you
good.
guys who wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to hear it right now.
Okay,
It's
that's
the,
fine.
The music stream we're not hearing, but that's.
Chat, as long as you can hear it, we're cool. Sorry for like the panic. Like, oh my god, are they still there?
Yeah, they can hear it because they're hearing it the same way we are.
Okay, yeah, that's
Okay.
all.
I
that
would
was
have
all
to
I was saying.
I would have to share my screen with them so that they
Yes.
could hear it.
Perfect.
Although for some
The,
reason it
uh,
didn't even really pop up, which is unsettling. But whatever.
the
it's
joys of virtual. Just if we drop, just tell Michaela, we'll fix it. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so
They
you
can
guys
hear
are
you.
together. You're in the pub. Aelor's probably ready to go. The world is your
Let's
oyster. The world is your egg fruit.
fine.
go. Egg
Where-
board.
You said those girls went to like a separate part of the bar. Like,
Yeah, they just sort of were like, this is too much for us, and like fucked off to like a back corner where they could like, giggle by themselves.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave them alone.
Cool. All right.
Alright. Ready to fucking go?
Cool. You head out. You see Aelor. He's chilling. He's got a fresh piece of dried seagrass in his mouth. He directs you to his boat. It's one of the smaller. He kind of gives you finger guns when he sees that
Hey.
that you have some dried seagrass.
It's slightly better than the wet stuff.
Good. I knew it would be. He directs you to his boat, which is again one of the smaller vessels. But you go over to like a ladder, and you can climb down into the boat. The boat is, let's say 20, between 20 and 30 feet long. It's definitely like seaworthy in terms of size, but it isn't like a big cruiser that can hold tons of people. There's a small-ish interior cabin where, you know, if Aelor wanted to spend the night, he's got like a bed down there. He could go in and anchor and chill. But yeah, you climb aboard and he sort of, unties the boat and starts to make his way out to sea. As he goes, you might notice that he's following one of those trenches in the seagrass. And you know, it's a beautiful day. Skies look good. The ocean surface looks good. You got this tip from Tommy Treelegs that, you know, he and you feel is going to be has the potential for a big score. And before too long, you have cleared this very large collection of seagrass, and you are out to open water. You guys sail for. You'll fix your audio on break video stream. Okay. You guys sail for quite a while. A couple of hours in, you know, Gripshot is like, we should be there any minute. Aelor is like, yeah, it's gonna be a while still. And
I actually have good survival too. I just rolled shitty that one time.
Yeah.
You don't have ocean survival.
After a couple of hours, you take a glance at back at the map, and you're like, oh shit, like we have barely moved, and you realize that, oh,
Yeah, guys, we're actually not going to the water.
Boats are slower.
We're not going into the water?
We're surrounded by water.
I look over the side of the ship.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're good.
You so you sail for a couple hours. You can have all the conversations you want. At one point, Aelor probably comes out, you know, says, you know, we're pointed in the right direction. He sits down, kind of kicks his legs up, puts his hands behind his head, and you know, it's just kind of relaxing, enjoying himself. He's happy to engage in conversation with you guys if you want, but he's not pushing it. If you guys are just kind of like keeping to yourselves, then he's just chilling.
Is it like a sailboat? Like it's got a mast?
Yeah, it's got a mast. You're not sure if it has any like auxiliary forms of power, especially because none of you have been to sea before, so you don't really know much about modern seafaring techniques in this world, but it definitely does have a mast.
I want to climb up the mast.
Hope there's a crow's nest.
No,
Okay.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, there's no crow's nest, it's just a mast. But yeah, you can climb up the mast. He
I got my shoes.
Make an athletics check.
Sure. I'm really good at that.
Well, actually, no. Let me ask you this: are you like climbing it like you'd normally climb it, or are you literally just doing like a cartoon, like walking and then like walk up like?
I'm like Naruto walking up the tree.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, you have a climb speed. You don't need to make a check unless you want to do anything like in particular. You can just climb up. Aelor looks up at you, and at first he's like. It's like, what is she doing? And then as you climb up, he's just like, he just kind of like laughs and is just generally kind of impressed with it, and is just, you know, amused by you. You know, it doesn't like piss him off that you're like fucking with his ship or whatever. You're just
I'm doing some like
some fun.
Titanic-esque, I'm the king of the world kind of shit up there.
Except for like,
I'm having a great
except for horizontal, so you're facing up at the sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually has like jacked abs, so they're like flag pulling like straight out. Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna throw a javelin at her. Not really.
Fair. Aelor just says, so what was your last adventure like?
Oh, it was quite wild. We actually fought a group of bandits that were led by a talking bear.
He makes an insight check.
What's that?
You can. Aelor is making an insight check as Kess proclaims to have fought a group of bandits led by a talking bear.
So,
Kess, Garrett, you can decide if you're rolling persuasion or deception, whether or not that's actually true.
I think persuasion, because whatever happened, this is what Kess thinks happened. Whether or not that's because that's what like one of his teammates told him or what.
Sure.
That is a 19.
What's really
Hell
funny
yeah,
is
talking bear.
Aelor also got a 19. He's just like, I mean, I just saw this lady like fucking walk up a pole like gravity's not a thing. It could be, why the fuck not? I'm a small town boy. I've seen so little of the world. Maybe there's talking bears out there leading groups of bandits.
Right. So I got a level with you, Kaz. We told you it was a talking bear. It was actually just a very large, hairy human man. Yeah. We took a human life.
That does make more sense.
He didn't want you to know, Cass.
He was evil though. He was leading bandits.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
What you're telling me is that our last adventure was just to murder a large hairy man. In character.
No, it was definitely like they were definitely bandits. I mean, who knows why they were stealing? Could have been to like get more money, or could have been to like feed his wife and children. Like really knows what.
That's why you guys hired Tommy Treelegs, because you're like, our last quest was just to kill a hairy guy. We need better quests.
Someone kept referencing the number 24601. I don't.
Oh boy. By the way, since nobody asked, Tommy Treelegs is a three-legged centaur with a New York accent. Anyway, moving on.
Nice, good.
Were we supposed to ask that?
Alar, what is your life like on a daily basis?
You're looking at it. It's a simple life for the people here in Brinehaven. You know, it's most of us have been here for generations. You know, we have outsiders come in, of course, and people go out to surrounding villages and you know, sort of travel and look for different lines of work, and they meet new people, and a lot of times they end up moving back to Brinehaven because they miss it and they raise their kids here. And it's small, but it's just a nice place to grow up.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people have a sort of a blue tint to their skin. Does everyone have sort of like a common ancestry or something?
Oh yeah, he kind of like looks at the mast, looks out at the waves, and kind of clocks that they're going like relatively. The ship is passing relatively slow, and he he takes off his not boat shirt, just kind of strips it off. He's definitely fit, kind of like lithe, you know, like most of these people seem to be. You haven't really seen like a heavy set or stout person in town, and hops in the water, just dives right in, and Aelor can fucking swim. Just looking at him, you would guess that he can swim about as fast as you can do anything. So he just swims along for a minute, just to kind of maybe show off a little bit. You know, you guys get to show off a couple of things, and maybe he wants to show off a little bit too. Catches up with the boat, climbs back up. There's just sort of some rigging along the side that he can easily grab and kind of hoist himself back up. And kind of gives like a little dog shake, and he's good to go. And explains to you that this is originally a sea elf settlement. And so the people here basically have a sea elf ancestry, although most of them at this point a lot of them are sort of like half elven, just because you know, if you don't branch out and you live in a small town, things get a little bit dicey. You know what I'm saying? So
I love that we're using our name as a
I love that
euphemism for incest.
When you think a little dicey, think about it.
No!
think about inbreeding, baby.
That ain't good for the brand.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, this is the people here for generations have been sea elves, and so they as you think about this, you kind of put it together, the sort of the aquatic gardens by the pier, the sort of kind of large sort of forest equivalent of seagrass. These people definitely live simply, and it's just sort of their version of, you know, wood elf living simply in the woods. These are sea elves living simply by the sea. So yeah, he climbs back up, and you continue on your way. As time keeps going, the sun starts to get lower in the sky. He offers to you guys, if you want to kind of go down into the cabin area to settle in. He's happy to sleep out on the deck. It's a beautiful night, like I said. And yeah, you guys can settle in and just sort of sleep the night away. You expect to be getting to the area that you think you're headed to in the relatively early morning, although, again, Aelor has no idea what could possibly be there. And frankly, neither do you.
Some sort of light.
I'm actually also happy to sleep out on the deck. And Kess, he kind of like looks around on his armor for a second, and he pulls like one of the belts, and just poof, the whole thing falls to the deck in less than
Love
6
that.
seconds.
Yeah.
No ripcord.
And he is basically naked now.
Make a great stripper.
Very efficient stripper. Very well
No,
done.
no pomp and
Fastest stripper in the
circumstance.
West.
Naked like that.
Fastest stripper of the West.
0 to naked and
Yeah.
3.5.
Aelor seems perfectly comfortable with your nudity.
Like, boom, stripping over. Is what.
Yeah, that's what you want
I
on
did
strip
it.
tease, is just brevity. You want efficiency out of a strip
Get
tease.
away.
Get right to it.
Yeah, Aelor is
Stripper, please.
perfectly comfortable with Kess's nudity. Stretches out, relaxes. The ship seems to be like, actually, everybody make a investigation check.
Beat my dice tray, please.
13.
18.
17.
Certainly, Grimshot and Bree. Kess maybe not so much. Kess is just enjoying the breeze on his goods. You know what I mean? Gripshot and Bree, it occurs to you in this moment that like Aelor ain't doing a lot of steering, and yet the boat seems to be kind of like maintaining its path.
Isn't that how boats work?
Yeah. It makes sense. Makes as much sense to you as anything. Seems like this boat has some ability to just do its thing, and he's mostly there to kind of like just make sure things don't go awry. And yeah, unless you guys want to hang out and shoot the shit, Bree and Gripshot, you can easily fit into the, and kind of like onto Aelor's bed together. You can go like, head to feet.
Head to foot.
You can go-
Head to foot.
Yeah, you can go hot dog style on the bed. And
Charlie Bucket's grandparents style.
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
You actually make like an X so your hips are over each other.
That's the hottest
the
way
most
you can sleep.
comfortable way.
Ladies love
It's
it.
the most canonically, it's the most erotic way to sleep because in that X.
So I think Grimshot actually. So Grimshot does, he takes his clothes off. You'll see he does have green skin, but he leaves his helmet on while he sleeps. He's just in this
Nice.
dark helmet.
Do you
glowing
ever
red
take the
eyes
helmet
while he
off?
sleeps.
Do you ever take that helmet off? Grim?
Usually don't know.
God,
I usually
looks
don't know if it's on or
comfortable
not.
to sleep with.
It just kind of.
Oh.
It's sort of just part of my
Okay.
head at this point, honestly.
I will take off the boat dress.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah,
very
you get that.
comfortable to sleep
You
in.
get that burlap sack off your skin,
Yeah.
and you feel pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You know, you're
A little itchy.
you got a good score on the horizon. You're ready to find the light in the darkness, and you're out here with your friends. You're having an adventure, and you not only have a boat shirt, but you also got to take off a boat shirt, and both those things are great.
Sometimes it's taking it off that's better, you know, at the end of the day.
Don't I know it?
The real boat shirt was the friends we made along the way.
Perfect. The Shoreis settle into sleep. Kessu as well. At some point in the night, you kind of wake up a little bit, and you could swear that Aelor. You could swear that Aelor is like making some clicking noises. You kind of look up and look over. Your perception is terrible, and I think you kind of know this by now because your teammates have been like giving you shit about it for long enough that you recognize that your perception is terrible. You could swear he was speaking to some sea creature, but you almost don't even believe yourself at this point, and then you just kind of like drift off to sleep.
Fair enough.
You did think the large hairy man was a bear.
Yeah.
I trusted you is what I did.
That's your first mistake.
Morning comes. You guys wake up. Grimshot, you wake up and you grab for your map. You take a quick look and you realize, like, shit, we're pretty damn close.
All right, I think we're almost there.
Oh, finally.
You come up. Do you come up out of the cabin onto the main deck?
Yeah.
Okay. As you come up, Aelor is awake, bright-eyed, pleasant as always. And Grimshot, as you continue to watch the map, it's sort of like one of those things like any minute now we're going to be there. And off in the distance, you do see a structure. Sort of. It's a little bit foggy this morning. It's a little bit cold this morning, a little bit colder than usual. So there's kind of that smoke on the water sensation happening. But off in the distance, you do see a structure kind of out on the horizon. And hey, this is great. You have confidence. The map is working. Aelor sees it himself and is like, well, shit. That's weird.
Yeah.
As he gets closer, it's a lighthouse. There's a lighthouse on like a sort of a small craggy island with a lighthouse on it. And you guys wouldn't know this, but Aelor, you've probably heard of lighthouses. Aelor sort of explains that, for the sake of brevity, that lighthouses have largely, where they used to have a very important function, have largely gone unused in recent decades because sort of magical navigation systems and magical implements for lighting your ship at night have kind of rendered them unnecessary. And of course, they require somebody to basically live there and maintain them. So a lot of lighthouses have been either torn down or have just fallen to the elements. It's been a very long time since he's seen one up. There's no light emanating from it. I'm not very good at calling for skill checks. I probably should have had you look, but there's no light coming from it. But nonetheless, Grimshot, as you look on your map, I mean, it's the only thing that makes any sense to you. And even stranger, as Aelor approaches the island, which is now in full view, you can see a stone lighthouse, sort of like a white stone lighthouse in classic.
No.
That was awesome. In sort of the classic sort of cylindrical structure, there's also a small home on the island. The island itself, as I said, is very quite craggy and rocky. There's a couple of trees doing that kind of amazing thing that trees do, where they're kind of like growing out of impossible places, and sort of instead of growing straight out of the ground, they're kind of growing like out and up. But most surprising of all is that there's another ship here.
Ooh.
There's no docks or anything. But if you've ever seen like any pirate movie or anything where like there's a ship goes to an island, it's sort of like anchored, maybe 30 feet away from what looks to be the beach or the shore. It's a small craft. It's even a little bit smaller probably than Aelor's craft. And in fact, he seems to recognize it. He says, "That's so weird."
What's weird?
I know that ship. That is, while I scroll my notes, that is Therabol's ship. What crazy odds? There's two groups of people wanting to come to this old lighthouse in the middle of nowhere at the same time. Anyway,
Who the fuck is Therable?
What's that? Sorry, Jamie.
Who the fuck is Therable?
Oh, he's a buddy of mine from Brinehaven. He and I, we sort of razz each other because we got the two smallest ships. Like, hey, mine's a grower. You know what I mean? Anyway,
do ships grow?
Apparently.
Anyway, I'm going to. If you're sure this is the place, I'm gonna anchor here, and if you see a guy that looks anything like me, say hi to Therable for me.
Is he friendly?
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping he wasn't, but.
Great guy. Great fucking guy.
Cass puts his hammer away.
Yeah.
Not so subtly.
Other people, you say?
A lot of bears in this lighthouse.
Alar, I've said Alar a bunch. Alar, doesn't really fucking matter. Alar anchors the ship, pretty close to the other ship, and basically bids you good luck. He tells you that he'll stick around, obviously, and wait for you for the return trip. Have an adventure.
Let's go.
Are we taking like a dinghy in? I assume.
His ship is such that it doesn't have like a super deep hull, so he can actually get pretty close to the shore, to the point where you guys can kind of just like hop out and then dredge your, just kind of like walk up to the base.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a little bit tougher for you, Kez.
My plate armor.
Just in your plate armor and stuff, but you can manage. You're just a little bit slow. In fact, even your difficulty with your plate armor is equaled by Bree and Grimshot's difficulty, just because like they're basically up to their they're basically up to here in the water, so they're like doggy paddling to shore.
I mean,
and you guys
I would
arrive.
imagine I pick them up just by like the scruff, and just like.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
I'll clamber up on your shoulders. That's cool.
Yeah. We'll freak the mighty this guy.
This is not the aesthetic I was going for, but all right.
Yeah, come on.
And in time, you guys get to the shore. It's rocky. It's not like a beautiful, pristine beach, but you can easily enough climb up. Everybody, go ahead and make me athletics checks just to roll some dice.
Easy. 15.
2.
Oh.
2 and 8. Kess is just like basically the equivalent of like walking up a flight of stairs like 3 steps at a time. Like it's just like bouldering the shoreline. Bree, you're scrambling up just fine. Grimshot, you're feeling good. You're like almost there, and then just like this is such a deep cut. This is stupid, but I'm gonna say just like in Mario 64, when you get to almost the end of the thing and then you slide all the way fucking back down, that happens to you, and you kind of like plunk your head a few times on the way down, but you got that helmet that like you just kind of shake it off. You're fine, and having learned your lesson, you kind of plan a different trekking path, and you were able to make it up well enough. And in a few minutes, you guys are basically on the island proper. Again, you see the lighthouse, the home. The landscape is very mossy, and off behind the home, there's sort of like a square wooden fence, making it look like maybe at one time there was a garden there. However, it all looks like it's basically just grown together. So you're basically on this mossy covered island with these two structures in front of you.
Well, what should we do first?
I suppose
Lighthouse?
we should go for the lighthouse.
Or the house?
Because light in the darkness. The
Yeah,
lighthouse-
I'm all for that. Let's go.
Yeah.
That checks out. Let's go.
Okay. You guys walk right past the home. The home, as you walk past it, it's very similar to the homes that you saw on the island. Everybody just roll a dice and tell me what it is, because I can't think of what this
Choose
is.
what dice.
Just fucking roll a dice, bro.
Oh, fucking dice.
Got a 19.
16.
Okay, cool.
2.
Kess, you don't give two shits about this house. You're like, give me that light, give me that dark. The other two of you look at the house and you notice a couple things. One, obvious signs of wear, and like weathering. There's lots of rotted wood. Definitely looks like it's structurally, it looks correct. It hasn't like sunken in, but it definitely looks like it's in a bit of disrepair. And also, because you both rolled quite high, it does look sort of... You get a bit of an insight that it looks like it's almost like from like an old house. Like it's similar in like design. It's similar in design in the sense that like it had the same goals and the same like basic materials, but it maybe has like some older tech, so to speak, for building a house. This house has been here a while, but nobody gives a fuck about this house. We're going right to the lighthouse.
Light in the dark,
you
brother.
get to the lighthouse. Yeah, you get to the lighthouse. Everybody make perception checks.
Okay.
Most of the time, there's been 1,000 perception checks by now, but I just like to give you information because it's right
7.
fucking in front of you.
Which
Sorry,
is
what'd you get?
7, which is also my passive.
Perfect.
9.
12.
7, 9, and 12. The lighthouse has similar. So Grimshot, you just looked at the house in pretty good detail. The lighthouse is similar weathering on its wooden door that's in front of you now, in front of the three of you now. The structure itself looks to be stone. You're not really sure like what kind of stone, but stone to some degree. It is tall. It's a lighthouse, although it's the first one you've ever seen. So Jamie probably knows what lighthouses look like more than Grimshot does. But yeah, it's a cool structure. It's tall. It's strong. What's not to like? Yeah, that's all you see.
Looks kind of like a big dick, doesn't it?
That's very astute.
Should we climb? And I'm like already like starting to like look
The
for
outside?
handles.
I mean, is there a door?
Is there?
Yeah, you saw a wooden door.
Oh.
You saw a wooden door on the stone structure that has a
Yes.
similar weathering to the house.
Slipped my mind. I'll go to the door and I just go and open the door.
It's got it has kind of a typical doorknob handle, the same that's on the house actually. It is locked. It is locked.
Okay, I will take out my warhammer and give it a whack.
Oh, wait.
What? Yeah. What? Yes.
Remember that key I found a while ago? I'm gonna take out my mysterious key and I'm gonna try and open the door. I have a 5% chance.
Read for everybody. Okay, it's got a 5% chance of opening
It's
any
just a
door.
5%
Right?
chance of opening
Hell
any
yeah.
door.
Roll me a
That's hilarious.
D100, and you need a
Above
I guess,
a 95.
a
is usually what it is.
95, a 96 or above.
Yeah, probably not. But,
So
you know.
000 is a 100.
I feel like I'm just always trying this key on everything.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 58.
Nah.
So what's funny is you put the key in the keyhole. You turn it. You've used this key a bunch of times. It feels the same way it normally does when it doesn't work, and yet it just sort of like the whole lock mechanism just sort of like rips out of the rotted wood with the meagerest turning of the key. The door basically was like waiting to fall apart, and you can play this however you want.
Is that how doors usually unlock?
That looked far more effective than my warhammer might have been.
It's probably a magic key.
I didn't know keys were so
Doors dissolve.
powerful.
This thing's awesome. I'm putting it back in my pocket.
Yep.
Perfect.
And we walk in.
The door is no longer an obstacle, and the three of you walk in. Again, for anybody watching at home, this looks like a fucking lighthouse, bro. It's got a spiral staircase, stone steps. As you walk up the stone steps, there are those sort of classic, sort of like porthole windows on the sides. You walk for, I don't know, 30 seconds or so, a few revolutions, and the steps open up to the sky, and you walk out, and you're now on a sort of the cylindrical platform that you would have noticed earlier, which is a little bit wider than the structure itself, and basically provides like a walking space at the top. Everybody make another perception check for me.
23.
Whoa!
I have technically rolled a 0.
I rolled a 9 again.
I rolled a 3, and I have a -3 to perception. So
Oh no.
there's an ocean out there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Kess
Zoned out.
gets fucking jacked about the ocean in this moment. And normally Kess is like really just sort of like even keeled, if not like sort of just kind of numb to everything. And in this moment he looks out, and it's as if he hasn't spent the last 18 hours on the sea and like sees the sea for the first time. And I'm gonna impose a made-up condition on Kess right now because he rolled a 0, which is just that you can literally not see anything other than the sea for the following minute.
I get up to that like platform. It's just like,
Yeah.
I love the ocean.
Kess gains the enamored condition that I just made up.
Beautiful.
Meanwhile, Bree, you kind of look around. You're like, okay, but then you notice Grimshot like sort of like really seeing things, and you just sort of like follow his gaze and his lead. So Grimshot, you see the following. So this has what's called I believe a Fresnel lens, which is like real life typical. What you see is when you look.
Fresnel. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, it could be Fresnel. I'm not sure. So you might know more than me. I probably don't even have to explain this to you, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So the circular platform that you're on is sort of open in the center to make room for the sort of lighting system, but such that you can walk around it and get like kind of a 360 access to it. The lens is, imagine like an egg shape that's made out of like metal framing and basically glass prisms, and so it looks like a really just rad sort of like edgy. This triggers all of your goth sensibilities. You're like, damn, this lens is edgy as fuck. It's kind of like a metal egg basically. Grimshot, you also see the following. When you go up to it and you peer through it, and you can see in the center there's like a brazier in the center, which is not lit. You also see, because you rolled a 23, and that's awesome, I'm not going to make you make further checks. You also see, you look down at your feet, and under the lens is like another little like door, like a small like sort of door that you can swing open, and on the lens itself, it's not obscured per se, but it is small and easily missable, is some what looks to be maybe some script. So those are all the things that you see. Everybody, remind me what languages you speak.
Gotta
I
remind
speak-
myself.
I speak Common, Deep Speech, and Goblin.
Very interesting.
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, and also Deep Speech.
Hilarious.
I have a reason for it.
What is that under?
Deep speech is like abomination language, kind of, right?
Beholders speak. Use Deep Speech.
Beholders speak it. Okay.
So aberrations.
Are you on D&D Beyond, Hannah? Or are you?
Yeah.
It's a
It'll
lower
be under
left.
proficiencies.
Oh, that's right. It's. I'm on the big page, so it's on the actual page.
I'm on the big page.
Common, Elvish, and Gnomish. I'm not used to the big page.
Okay. Bree, Grimshot points this out to you, and Grimshot, feel free to interact with any of the other things I mentioned. But for now, he doesn't point this out to you, but because he doesn't know that he doesn't recognize it. But you see him looking at it because you've been following his gaze kind of the whole time. And as you see it, you do recognize it as Elvish. Grimshot, anything else that you want to do before I give Bree some more information?
I'll just point out. Yeah, there's some writing there. There's a door under this fucking thing.
Yeah. Bree. The you recognize it as Elvish, but it's not like school Elvish. Give me an intelligence check. If you want, you can add. You can use investigation if you want. If you happen to have proficiency.
Same either way. Oh, it's 14.
14. Okay, you surmise that this is probably old. You've already put together that this island is untouched for a while. So the sort of oddities in this script that you recognize, you just kind of chalk up to being kind of an older, passé way of speaking. But what you read is, or I should say what it says is, immortality awaits those who would be the light in the darkness. Immortality awaits those who would be the light in the darkness.
It's another metaphor, I think, Graham. Something like immortality awaits those who would be light in the darkness. Something like that. It's like,
Right as you say that,
oh god.
right as you say that, you all see. If you did look into the lens where the brazier was in the center, and you trace down into the floor, so now you're basically in the center of this platform that you're standing on. Suddenly, out of nowhere, lines of light begin to trace in different directions. And as you watch it, it sort of draws out and then around, making sort of these geometric shapes, just in the air. In the center, it's kind of in the air. By your feet, where you're on the platform, it's on the ground. And within a matter of seconds, it has come close to drawing a complete circle with different geometric patterns on the inside. Is there anything anybody wants to do?
Oh, do I
reaction to this.
notice things now?
Yeah, actually, no. Kess,
Okay.
you're still staring at the ocean. You have no idea.
Wow.
If anybody tried to get you to look at this, you'd be like, fuck off, I'm looking at... Have you seen the ocean?
Look at those fucking waves. Don't even come at me right
Yeah.
now.
So it's like making these geometric shapes on the floor of the lighthouse?
On the floor of the platform that you're on. So not all the way at the ground,
Well, yeah.
but right under your feet.
Well, this seems like it did something.
I'm gonna reach down and like touch one of the geometric shapes, I guess.
Yeah, you touch it, and it's as if you were touching like a wall that, you know, like a laser show is happening on. You don't feel anything, but the light continues to travel, drawing these shapes on the ground.
I think it's just light.
Light in the darkness.
Within a few more seconds, the light continues to trace, completing the circle, and as the circle is completed, the light stops tracing, but the whole platform sort of pulses with a glow for a moment. And then, Kess, as you're looking out at the waves, you fixate at one in particular that you see off in the distance. And the wind is kicked up a bit, and you're watching the wave as it crests. And you just think about how this wave is a metaphor for life. How the energy of this wave, for one brilliant moment, is above everything else, is cresting with such grace and majesty, knowing that it can't possibly last forever, but does so anyway. And as it crashes, as it begins to crash, and you know that its time well spent has come to an end, you're suddenly, as with the other two of you, what you see is no longer there. You don't feel anything per se, except maybe a little touch of the same seasickness that you felt on the ship, particularly you, Grimshot. And now you find yourself, you look down at your feet, and you can see your feet, but you're somewhere dark. It's not pitch black. You can see there's a light source to your to your right. But in the corners of your eyes, you see, it's like if you've ever seen, well, even just this morning when you were looking out at the sea, the gentle current flowing, that gentle agitation of the surface of the water. It's kind of like that, but it's black. It's utter blackness. And you look up, and everyone make perception checks.
Nine.
22.
8.
8. 9, 8, 22. Kess, I'm not gonna lie. You're falling apart a little bit. You were enamored with the sea, and you didn't get all the time that you thought you were gonna have with it. And so you're just lamenting being anywhere other than on that platform. Grimshot, you are quite adept, probably the most adept of anyone you've ever seen at adjusting to darkness. Your friend Bree is quite adept as well, but nonetheless, if anyone is comfortable in darkness, it's you. Nonetheless, this is a jarring experience, going from where you just were to here, and you're just sort of like collecting yourself for a minute. Bree, I don't know if it's because you weren't that enamored with the sea, and you also weren't that enamored with the lens and the lighthouse. You were just kind of along for the ride. You've been able to make this adjustment the most sort of easily and plainly. You collect yourself quickly, and you see the following. Underneath you appears to be a relatively flat stone floor. to your... You look up, and along the ceiling, you can't actually see like a firm ceiling, but what you see is like, sort of like what I was describing before, is a gently trickling creek moving along the ceiling. But instead of blue water, it's utter blackness. But you can see the movement in it. To your left, the same. This gently flowing, roiling is too aggressive of a term, but there's movement in this utter blackness. And to your right, you do see a stone wall. Next to you on the stone wall is a brazier that has a flame. It's lit with flame, although this flame is white. It's like LED white. And you can quickly surmise that the blackness in the ceiling and the left wall, it's basically like the light in the brazier is repelling those things. So the closer it gets to the light, the less of it is, and the further, the more dense and the more sort of free it is to move. In front of you is ostensibly a long hallway that appears to curve to the left. Aside from the moving blackness, I want to be clear, it's not just that it's on the wall, it's sort of in the air. There's a thick, viscous darkness in this place. And again, you're comfortable, not to spoil anything, but you're much more comfortable than most in the darkness. But this is fucking weird. Yeah, that's
Matt,
what you see.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I paused the music because I don't think the song we were listening to was right for this at all.
Correct.
Yeah.
Michaela, please play Tombs.
Yeah, I got it.
Awesome. Thank you. Because I can't hear the music, I just forgot.
Yeah, I was listening to it and there's still this like town plinky music, and I was like, I don't think that's the tone we're going for.
No, I probably should have changed it a while ago, but I forgot. Yes, thank you. So that's what you see. And now with the music, it's actually dope as fuck.
Right, so this place is kind of fucked up, right?
Oh, I have something for this. And I take out my Warhammer and I just like grab it and cast the light cantrip.
Yeah. Cool. Hannah, did you have something too?
Can I reach out and like try and touch where I see the darkness is being held at bay? Like the edge?
On the light side or on the darkness itself?
On the darkness itself, like
yeah.
I'm kind of imagining somewhat of like a bubble-ish thing, like the lightness is holding it back. I can just try and do I feel anything when I touch the darkness?
Yeah, so here's what happens is, imagine that you are sort of in like a pool of jello, right? So the darkness that fills this entire hallway is sort of thick and viscous. You can feel it as you wade through it with your arms. However, as you reach sort of this border on your left where it seems like there's movement to the darkness, it sort of, there's like a surface tension to it, almost as if you've ever seen those like what do they call it, non-Newtonian fluids, where they're like liquid, but then when you go to touch them they turn solid. It's kind of like that. It resists your touch. It doesn't harm you necessarily. You don't know what would happen if you pushed your luck with it, but at least initially it feels like firm to the touch, and then you pull your hand back. Kez, you cast the light cantrip.
I lost Canadian again.
Oh no, that's okay. She'll be back. Kez, you cast the light cantrip, and see, I knew it. I knew she'd be back. You cast the light cantrip. What is the radius on light cantrip?
I believe it is 20 feet of bright light, and then dim light in an additional 20 feet.
So you cast the light cantrip, and just as typically, you form this. It's like an orb of light. Is that what it is?
It
Or
made because I used it on my because you touch an object, and so the object is shedding a bright light.
Yeah. So you touch the sort of the head of your warhammer, and just as always, 20-foot radius light emanates from the head of the hammer. And like in that moment, you're like, crisis averted. It's fine.
We're good.
And then what you see is, and you all have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
I have actually 90 feet of dark vision.
Yeah, cool. So, and then what you see is the darkness sort of like coalesce around the light and begin to compress it down. And over the course of just a few seconds, it hasn't squelched your light source completely, but where it would normally be like a 20-foot radius, now it's like a 5-foot radius. So it does give you some light, but it's clearly not powerful enough to permeate this thick-ass darkness.
So if I like swirl it around, that doesn't do anything?
Yeah, I mean, same deal. Like, it's actually interesting as you do this. You've never experienced anything like this where there's this viscosity to the air. As you do this, it's sort of like, stirring like batter or something, right? Where you can move through it, but you see the path with which you stir the darkness with your hammer. And the same thing happens is it's able to maintain that 5 feet, but the darkness is constantly compressing it down. Yeah, that's what you see.
Okay.
And I'm assuming we can't see through this darkness with our dark vision.
So, fucking good question. So you can see, but Grimshot can certainly see better with his dark vision than Kess and Bree can. But certainly, without being able to put a number on it necessarily, it is clear that you cannot see as well as you normally can. You're benefiting right now from not only the light of the brazier on the right wall, and also with the extra light that Kess has created with his hammer. But where normally you would be able to just see 60 or 90 feet straight ahead, granted in grayscale and not like under the light of day, you might venture that it's maybe like half that. It's definitely less.
Yeah, something's fucked up with this darkness. Let me try something. I'm gonna pull out a torch from my backpack and stick it in the white light.
Dope. You take the torch, you put it in the white light. It does not catch.
Is
Fuck
is the light like hot? Like if I went over and put my hand near it, does it feel warm?
It does not feel warm.
What if I grab it?
It like an LED. It is incredibly bright. It's that that really piercing white light. But it also kind of like an LED. It really doesn't make any warmth. If you put your hand like right in the flame, nothing.
This fire behaves irregularly.
Can we,
I will say
grab it? Can we take it?
It is uncomfortable to like stare at, like staring into the sun.
Sure.
It's just incredibly bright, but it doesn't burn you or anything like that. It's not hot.
Mm-hmm.
Can you grab it? What do you mean?
Can we take it with us?
Yeah, can we take it with us somehow?
Oh, the brazier is
Yeah.
firmly fixed to the wall. You kind of like try to jimmy it a little bit. In fact, make a perception check, Bree.
19.
Yeah, as you get up to it, you it's kind of high for you, but let's say Kess gives you a little boost, and you get your hands. It's kind of funny. You're probably not very strong, but you get your hands on it, and then instead of you jimmying it, Kess kind of jimmies you to try to wrench it from the wall.
I'm a tool.
It does not move. It is firmly affixed to the wall. However, you do see that same elven script on the brazier that was on the lens, which is a reminder, says, immortality awaits those who would be the light in the darkness.
Darkness. I think we found our light in the darkness.
Seems like it, but we're not supposed to. We can't really be this fire, can we?
I can probably take it off the wall, and I'm just gonna try to like break it off.
Step back.
Sure. Make an athletics check for funsies.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
16. Yeah, you have your full weight hanging from this brazier, and it does not budge.
My full weight plus my plate mail weight.
Yeah, you can't. You don't notice like any, like screws or any specific things affixing it to the wall. It's just there, bro.
Here, let me help you with that. I just like dangle from your arm, like.
Yeah. It immediately comes crashing down. No,
just
it's
needed 20 more pounds.
It is firm. That boy firm.
Does it look like we can continue down that hall in front of us?
Yeah, the wall continues. I'm sorry, the hallway continues. It does wrap around slightly to the left. As you correct me if I'm wrong, but as you start to walk in that direction, after about here's what happens. You leave the light of that brazier, and Kess's hammer does provide you that bit of light, but this is the darkest darkness that you've ever experienced, and you do notice that where like a light source would normally sort of in a linear fashion die off as it enters, as it emanates from a source, right? This is like there's almost like a firm point where it's just squelched by the darkness, and because of that, since Kess is moving with you, you never find yourself in total darkness, and yet you are sort of like in a tiny little lit bubble in total darkness, if that makes sense. So there are times where you cannot see, even with your dark vision, really anything in front of you. But as you walk, go ahead.
Well, just so you guys know, so I'm a gloom stalker. I have an ability where if you could see me with dark vision, then you can't see me. So there are probably points where I'm just kind of like fade out of view, but you can still see everything else.
Yeah, you get like more than 10 feet away, and it's just like you're fucking invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I hadn't said anything because I assumed you were walking together, but yeah, anytime Grimshot drifts even like 6 feet away from Kess, that boy gone. Mm-hmm. It's like he was never there at all. And then he drifts back in, and it's incredibly unnerving to see this.
Extremely.
By the way, Hannah, you have guidance on your next skill check.
Oh.
Nice.
From TBD, 1989.
You walk forward.
Thank you.
I'm actually sorry. There's one other thing I want to do. I want to use my primeval awareness ability. So I'm going to spend a spell slot. And I'm going to find out if basically I don't find out how many there are or where they are, but if there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead within 1 mile, then I know that they are there, basically.
Can you read it specifically? Not all the types, but just like if there's a thing, what do you sense?
Yeah. As an action, you expend 1 major slot, 1 minute per level of spell slot to sense whether any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you are in your favored terrain. Which I don't think I have one of those.
Okay. So just if they're within a mile, nothing more specific.
Does not reveal the creature's location or number.
Okay.
Mighty sense.
You use this ability, so it takes you a minute.
It takes an action.
Oh, just an action. Okay. You use this ability, and in fact, as Kess keeps walking, you see Grimshot disappear again, and you're like, you can't help but think like, fucking stop doing that. And as Grim disappears in the darkness, he uses this ability to sense these otherworldly creatures, such that they can't hide from him. And Grim, you sense undead within a mile. And in fact, you sense... The ability doesn't really let you do this, but I'm going to say... Yeah, it's certain. To the point where either there's like a very powerful presence of undead, or there are several within a mile.
There's something undead nearby. Something very strong and undead.
Oh,
very undead.
I have something for this, and so I'm going to use my divine sense.
Okay.
Detect good and evil until the end of my next turn. So for the next 6 seconds, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Anything within 60 feet affected by the hollow spell, or celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover, I know exactly where they are.
Oh.
Very interesting. You have left the previous brazier. Let's say you've walked about 30 feet or so. And as you're walking and using this divine sense, you're walking slowly, cautiously, because Grimshot has warned you that there might be something here. But as you're using this, you're getting to that 35, 40-foot spot, distance from your previous brazier. And suddenly your light, either your light or its light, permeates the darkness. You are now close enough that you see another brazier just ahead to your right, similarly fashioned to the wall as the one behind you, and you estimate on good authority that they're 60 feet apart. Just as you see this next brazier, lit just the same, you can't explain it, but yeah, the brazier, the light within the brazier is triggering your divine sense.
Oh, I believe the light in the brazier is somehow either a celestial fiend or undead.
Like it's a zombie fire or something.
Soul lantern.
If I were to throw around a crazy random guess, perhaps some sort of ghost, a will-o'-the-wisp, perhaps.
Oh.
Never seen one of those before.
What do you do?
What do we do?
Should we attack the brazier?
Sorry, what's up?
Yeah, like
the lights are somehow
stab it.
like celestial fiend or undead,
Yeah,
presumably undead.
Right. Well, let's keep going.
Okay.
Just know that these fires are ghosts, I guess.
And maybe they'll come out and attack
Proceed
us.
accordingly.
I'm gonna
Haven't
go.
heard us yet. So.
I'm holding onto the hammer, and I do get my shield on, just like
Maybe they're friendly ghosts.
Do you have a particular order in which you're walking? Or are you kind of side by side? What are you guys doing?
I'm presuming I'm leading the way.
Yeah.
With my light.
I'm probably towards the back.
Okay. Yeah. Kess leads the way with his lit warhammer, Bree in the center, and Grim in the back. With the best sight of the three of you, kind of watching your ass, making sure that you aren't being snuck up on.
Staring directly.
Don't look at my ass.
Yes.
At Bree and
Into
Kess's
the
ass.
of the darkness. As you walk forward slowly, cautiously, you continue. You are not yet used to this unnerving blackness that you are wading through, like it's waist deep water. And as you move forward, you start to try to focus your senses and see if there's anything else you could be, missing. Just like, when you're in that moment of sort of like fight or flight, you get dialed in, right? You listen, and it is eerily quiet in here, especially with a stone floor. There's no footfall sound really. It's as if, there's no. You would expect like an echoing through this chamber, and there just isn't. You think that you do hear maybe a slight, again, sort of like the sound of a gently flowing creek, as this darkness floats to your left. There's a faint earthen smell. And as you continue forward, you continue to clock every 60 feet another brazier on your right, each one lit like the last. Every once in a while you think, am I sure? You give it a little rattle, you touch the flame, same thing. The brazier doesn't move, the flame doesn't affect you in any way. You begin counting them, 8, 9, 10, as you continue to curve around to the left. And right around 11, the smell starts to change. You start to smell filth, decay.
Poop.
It's not good. Poop. Dare I say poop?
Are we in a sewer?
You continue to move forward, and as you get to that 12th brazier, another 60 feet ahead, when you permeate that last bit of darkness that allows you to benefit from the light of that next brazier, you see on the floor in front of you what appears to be a blue-green skinned, green-haired likely inhabitant of Brine Haven, on the floor, gaunt, unmoving.
I'll check to see if he's alive.
Ooh.
Make a medicine
careful.
check.
Alar is gonna be sad.
14.
This boy dead.
Oh no!
He's
This boy dead.
You reach down. I like to think Grim gives it a smells dead.
Smells like dead.
You give it you sort of examine it. You just examine the body briefly. It does appear to be in rigor mortis. Doesn't look like it's in too advanced stages of decomp. It still looks like, a person, but cold, dead. Yeah.
Can I investigate the body, see if I can figure out like cause of death or something like that?
Yeah. You can make either medicine or investigation.
That's either a -3 or a +5. I'm investigating.
-3.
I either rolled a 3 or an 11. Your choice.
Okay, 11. An 11 investigation, you're putting the pieces together in your head. Alar told you that he recognized his buddy's ship. Strange that he's here. He didn't say when he last saw him, but here he is on the floor. He's unmoving. He's incredibly gaunt. Seems like your best guess is that you look him over. Like a lot of the other inhabitants of Brine Haven, his clothing is loose and minimal and comfortable. You're able to kind of like investigate the body relatively easily. You don't find any obvious stab wounds or anything like that. Your best guess is that he just starved.
I do believe he has starved to death, or at least come to a less violent end.
Yeah. Natural causes, I should say.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Has this hall been curving to the left the whole time?
Consistently, the same
We've been
sort
going
of
in a circle.
yeah, the same sort of angle of whatever you'd call it, of curvature as you've moved. You could probably guess that this is. It's not a big leap to guess that this room is it's basically like a circular hallway. I should have said in the beginning, you could have gone left or right. You kind of just went the direction in which that you were facing.
In front of us.
But you also could have gone the other way. I'll just spoil it. It's a fucking circle.
Yeah.
But does it seem like, I mean, have we been walking longer? Like, assuming this is a circle, have we been walking longer than the circle? Like,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
Come across this body if it is a circle, I guess.
Grimshot, roll either straight intelligence or survival.
I'll do survival. 11.
You don't really know. Like, you sort of talk with your friends and you sort of speculate that this is a circular room, but you've been so there's been so much to process that you don't really have the mental capacity. You accept it about yourself. You don't really have the mental capacity to be like, oh, the circumference of a circle versus its radius, I'm probably halfway around it, right?
I thought you played off like I'm really like, these tracks, and
yeah.
Okay.
No idea where we are.
I am tired of this, and with the nearest brazier, I'm just gonna with my warhammer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make an attack roll, I guess.
Cool. You know what? I'm gonna do it through D&D Beyond. Is that a nat 1? That's a nat 1 for 9,
Woo!
but a nat 1.
Yeah. You frustratedly, as emotional as you really ever see Kess get, he takes this swing. He's mostly still mad that he's not looking at the ocean right now. He takes this swing at the brazier. He does hit it solidly. The thing is, it's one of those things, like if you've ever like hit a baseball and you get that sting because you hit it too low. Like, the hammer hits it solidly and just bounces right off the brazier, sending this like vibration shock up your arms, and you don't take any damage, but it like definitely stings a bit. Even with a nat 1, you feel pretty certain that like that thing ain't moving. And in fact, you have never seen white fire before. It is pretty, and you've never seen darkness that flows like water before. It's pretty certain that there's some magic up in here.
I think it's time to go into the darkness.
Is that a possibility?
I don't know.
I mean,
I want to try though.
How? Oh, right. It didn't even occur to me that was an option.
I'm gonna try and push harder at the dark
on the
bubble.
On the left wall.
Yeah.
You sort of wade through the thick, viscous darkness that you all sit in. You take your hands, you put them up against that flowing. It almost looks like when Garrett makes the potions with luster dust. It's got that.
I can go grab one.
Yeah, remember when you made the really dark one and it looked dope as fuck? It kind of looks like that. You push up against it, and at first it gives to you like a liquid, and the more you push on it, the firmer it gets. You push into it, and it bends like you're pushing against like a people won't get this. I want to say like a diaphragm, but almost like you're pushing against like something that's flexible, right? And it sort of is bending to your will, and then just when you think you're sort of making some progress, you start to feel this tingling in your palms, and make a Constitution save.
Yes. Is that a guidance thing? Is that a guidance thing?
I don't
save.
think you can use guidance on a save.
Guidance is a skill check.
Skill check, yeah.
I did roll 17. What is my con? That's 18.
Okay. You save. You don't. It doesn't hurt you necessarily. It doesn't hurt you, but this like pin-prickly feeling, like your hands are falling asleep. You feel like. I mean, I don't know. You can push your luck if you want, but it definitely doesn't feel great.
I want to push farther. I'm gonna keep pushing.
Yeah. You make just a little bit more
Push
progress
harder.
into the shadow. Make another con save.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. That times 6.
You take 5 points of necrotic damage as the darkness
Ooh.
begins to eat away at the skin on your hands. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe not that way.
You pull your hands away, and they are not bleeding, but they are raw, as if you scraped them across some rough concrete. The darkness fully rebounds and is as it was.
Right, let's not do that.
Bree, let me see your hands real quick. And I just like a little like pale kind of silvery light comes out, and you are healed 5 hit points.
Oh.
Could I
Thank you.
past where Bree was pushing at all, or was it like a physical thing that I could like even with my extended dark vision?
Oh, see past? You could not see past.
Okay, so it was like a barrier as far as I was concerned.
Imagine. I know this is weird, but like imagine Bree was inside an inflated balloon and was trying to escape. Right? You can see her hands kind of like making some progress into this flexible barrier, but she couldn't break through it, and you couldn't see past it.
I am going to cast Bless on all of us. And then I am going to try to push in.
Okay.
My big old Azamar hands.
As you guys do this, just give me an idea of like how stealthy in general are you being? Are you trying to be quiet, or are you acting like you're the only people here?
I'm acting like I'm the only person here. I can tell you that for sure.
Probably not trying to be stealthy.
Okay.
I think Grimshot is trying to be stealthy as well as he can while also keeping up with the rest of the group.
Yeah, so Grimshot, you're just kind of staying like just out of the light so that you're basically invisible. The other two are just like they own the place.
Yeah.
Kess, go ahead and make a Constitution save.
Cool. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. 11.
11. That's a fail. You take 6 necrotic damage.
Well, I'll take 3. How about that?
Ooh, resistant.
Yes, I am, and I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. You keep going?
Yep. I assume I roll again?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
15.
15 saves. You do not take any damage. You do feel that tension on the other side rising, as if it's, sort of rising to the occasion to resist your strength. Go ahead and make another save.
Sure.
If you want to keep pushing.
I do. 12.
12 is a fail. You take 4 necrotic damage.
Did you already have it, or am I?
I did not, so it's 2.
Okay, cool. Just trying to make sure.
As you do this, Grimshot, for the first time you hear a sound that is not the sort of ambient rushing of the darkness to your left. It's sort of a shuffling sound. The rest of you, Kess, your perception is dog shit.
Yep.
Bree,
I'm also
is 12.
distracted.
You're passive. So while Kess is, forcibly fighting the darkness on his left, Bree, you see out of the corner of your eye, and Grim, you certainly do as well with your vision. What appears to be a human man walking towards you. He has just entered the light. If you imagine like the brazier in front of you is sort of like a lamplight. He's just entered the lamplight, that the light of that brazier as it cascades down on his body, and he is walking towards you. He is incredibly labored in his walk. He's basically dragging his feet. Looks like he's dragging his whole ass body. You, aside from the filth, decay, and frankly shit smell that you started to smell when you approached this dead person, a new smell approaches, which is booze. And as this man who smells of alcohol and also filth enters the light of your area, he says, might as well save your efforts. I already tried. And he holds up his hands to you, and both are black.
Ooh.
The entirety of his palms and fingertips are black. Yeah.
I'm still going.
How long have you been here?
Let's make another con save.
11.
11. Take 8 rounded down to 4 necrotic damage.
Oof, that's a lot.
You have made it a considerable way. Just like if you were pushing against a balloon and you can start to see like the angle of deflection, right? You start to get the sense that you must be close, if not to breaking through, but like the way that the darkness is flexing to your might is sort of almost perpendicular to the direction that you're pushing. Bree, this man responds, I have no idea. You kind of lose track after, I don't know, hours or days.
Did you come here with Theribold?
Yeah, he was my guide from. And he sort of collects himself as he sort of starts to collapse from weakness. We lost him, I don't know, a day or two ago.
You need some food or some water.
Do you need a water bottle?
You need a water bottle.
Yeah. It's been, like I said, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a long time. Thank you.
Well, have some of this. I'll give him my water skin, and I'll give him a ration.
You hand him an Aquafina bottle and a Cliff Bar, and he just like fucking goes to town. He starts to eat and drink. Kess. It's so funny that you play Kaz and now you're Kess. It's so fucking close. Okay, Kess.
Sorry.
It's fine. Kess. I had you roll again, right? Did you roll something?
I rolled, assuming you were gonna have me roll again.
Yeah. What is it?
It is a 17.
Okay, so you save. You don't take any further necrotic damage. You push. You dig your all of your feet in. You kind of lean down and you put all of your strength forward. You push against it. The darkness does not break.
Roscoe,
but what you feel is stone behind it. You feel as though you have met a stone wall behind the darkness.
So, like, to keep pushing would be folly, right?
You can certainly try, but even you... Well, you're not dumb, you're just unperceptive. You are now feeling a solid border, a solid barrier behind this flexible darkness.
Can I see anything
decide
past?
What to do, what you will.
Can I see, with the darkness pushed up like this, can I see anything past it?
I'm gonna say no. Okay. Because even though the darkness is sort of been compressed, its density is such that it is still the same sort of thick ass darkness. So no, you can't see through it.
The darkness is
but Kess can make an assertion that there is a wall behind this darkness. At least in this exact spot that he's pressing, there is a wall behind this darkness. This human man, by the way, he's about 6 feet. He is quite emaciated as well, although you can sort of tell that he's broad-shouldered, probably before he met the same conditions that his guide met. He probably was quite fit. He is wearing Kess, not dissimilar to what you would wear under your armor. Essentially, fantasy Under Armour, right? He's not wearing any armor, and he carries no weapon. But it looks like he's dressed like he might have. You can surmise that he probably does normally and just isn't wearing it at the moment.
Gotcha.
He's sort of polishing off this ration in this water. Obviously, he doesn't do anything magical to recover his looks, but he brightens up a bit. And he says to you, Kess, he says, "You made it further than I did."
Yes, there appears to be some sort of wall here, and I just sort of like hop so that the darkness just pushes me back.
Yeah, cool. It kind of springs you back.
Yeah.
Yeah, the darkness fully flexes back into its position, and this man now sort of plops down on his butt and leans against the far wall, the outer wall of the curvature, and just kind of sits there for a minute. He looks like he's been through some shit, and he's trying to process what's happening.
I can't quite tell, but does this like hallway like loop around like it should, or is it just like keep going?
Yeah, it goes all the way around.
Right.
The only difference is there's still two braziers at the end that aren't lit up. 20 in total, 18 lit. I must have walked it 100 times in every direction, and I tried to fight the darkness on every wall. I tried to chip at every brazier with my sword, and I screamed and jumped and charged and did everything I could think of to do. I was told there would be great. I thought it would be worth coming here. It wasn't.
Quick, kind of a weird question. When did you count how many? Lose this accent a little bit. When did you count how many braziers were lit? Was it before or after what's his name died?
That's a good question. Both.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and
No change.
no, there was a change. He, he wasn't really built for adventuring. He wasn't. He was a fisherman like the rest of them, and I could see he came in with me. I came here alone. It was stupid, probably, but in hindsight, I guess the best thing I could have done. And he started to, we ran out of water first, and then food, and he started to lose it, and eventually, because he just left. And this place is so goddamn dark. I saw him collapse, and then first I didn't believe it, but I saw light come out of him, and at first it looked like him, and I thought I was seeing an angel. And then the darkness came for him and crushed him down. It started to drift away, and I followed it. I was already weak and slow, and I lost it. But I walked the corridor another 100 times, and it was 17. And after he fell, it was not.
Can I insight check him? Is he planning on killing us?
Make an insight check.
Now, this is a skill check, so I can use the guidance, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yes.
I doubt the bless is still up, so.
Yeah.
Bless
Yeah.
is only a minute, yeah.
Well, that's not on skill checks anyways. That's okay, I rolled a 6.
To you, he looks like, kind of like what I said before, a man who's been through some shit. And even with a 6, you can put together that he was alone in this chamber for some amount of time and was probably resigned to not getting out. And everything that's happened since you arrived is probably something that he's still processing.
Right, so just to be clear, there were 17 lit, your friend died, and now there's 18. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Cool. Right, okay.
Maybe that's what it means. They are immortal now. They're a light in the darkness, like the writing said.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, great. What does that put us?
Well,
Sure idea with me, but I don't know. 3, 4, 5 days stronger, I guess. Real quick, it's almost 9. Does anybody need a break? I don't, but if you need to,
I could use a quick break.
Okay, let's stop right now. Let's take a quick break. This is going a little bit long, so I know some of our viewers might feel the need to go to bed. I would love to keep going and not overly rush anything. So if the players are cool, we might go a little bit long, but we can talk about it during the break. So everybody in chat, thank you so much for hanging with us. I hope you're enjoying it. We love you. Stick around. We'll be right back. Mika, go ahead and put us on whatever the fuck.
All right.
Oh, and I didn't mute my microphone, so they've heard me the whole time.
No, it looks like that.
No, I know. I'm just being a dick.
Okay. Just wanted to comfort you.
Hey, we're back.
Hey, we're back. Welcome back to A Little Dicey. We are 3 hours into a one-shot that I didn't know out of time, so we're probably going to go to 11. If you're enjoying yourselves and are ready to power through, hang with us till then. That'd be awesome. If you're coming up on bedtime or you're in another time zone and it's 4 in the morning, you can always watch this on the VOD. I hope you're enjoying it. Things are just starting to get interesting. The crew is in this place with this roiling, thick, viscous darkness. They found the fallen sea elf by the name of Therable, and they have just found his human companion and given him some resuscitation after finding that even if this darkness were permeable, that there seems to be a wall on the other side of it. And at least according to this guy that they just met, another brazier lit when Therival was, succumbed to malnourishment and dehydration. So let's get back into it. The human has sort of plopped down, having taken his water and his food, shared his story about Therival, and appears to be a little bit, not sure if he's lost in thought or if he's just sort of recovering, having just nourished himself for the first time in days, surely. And you all find yourselves in this situation.
Right, well, this fucking sucks.
Unless two people are willing to, sacrifice themselves, you're gonna have to find a different way out of here.
Right. So, well, Kess, I saw you. Could I tell that Kess was hitting a wall? When he was
I
up there?
said it too.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming this was I don't know where this place is exactly, but it will be weird for there to be just like a weird like circle of stone. Maybe there's a door on some side of that center area. This is not approaching. This is not an accent anymore. It's just me yelling.
The
guy just says, "Help yourself. Loop it as many times as you want."
I can't imagine trying to stay on that inner wall and just sidling along it. I would probably die at some point.
Yeah. Oh, are you by the way?
On a scale from 1 to 100, I would say I'm probably about a 78.
Right.
That's
So I am running at a C+.
It's better than me.
Maybe we should go look at the 2 unlit. Oh, you okay?
Yeah. It's only you can't miss him. It's just down the hall.
That's all I can think of.
Do you feel like you can move, or you want to wait here and rest?
I'd rather just wait. I've seen it.
Does he appear to be like actually hurt, or just like weak from like malnourishment?
Yeah. I mean, for the sake of brevity, again, similar to Therival. Sorry, I had the right letters in the wrong order. Similarly to Therival, you don't see any signs of wounds. You also haven't seen any like signs of a struggle. Here, there's no other fallen, but like it's possible that he just like straight up killed Therival and is lying about it. But other than that, he does seem to be very thin and very weak.
Right. You stay here. We'll go look at the braziers.
Just kind of gives you a wave.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys start walking, you continue down the hallway. You were at brazier number 12. You count 13, 14, 15, 16, and sure enough, 17 and 18 are there, unlit. If you keep walking past 18, you see another lit brazier. I'm sorry. You get all the way to 18, they're lit. 19 and 20 are unlit. Obviously, if you walk past 20, you don't know that you're back at 1. I'll just tell you that you are. But it just, you see another lit one. There's 2 unlit, and then they seem to be a series of lit again.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you continued to walk, eventually you would run into this human man again, thereby concluding, the truth, which is that it's a loop.
The darkness goes over top of us too, right?
It does.
Wasn't there? I thought you. Oh, never mind. I'm done.
I should also say, as you, particularly because I assume, Kess, you've maintained this light spell this whole time.
Yeah, even if it's died, I've re-upped it.
Yeah. As you're walking around the circle, there is exactly 1 brazier on the left wall. As if the other ones are sort of like, it seems to be mounted exactly the same as the other ones, although this one is sort of like in the dark, like the darkness is sort of flowing around how it's mounted. So the brazier is sticking out from the darkness, with the darkness sort of wrapping around its base. There's exactly 1 brazier on the inner wall, if you're thinking about the curvature, that is unlit.
Is that part of the 2 that are unlit?
It is not.
Is that the only one on the inner wall?
That's correct.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I think what needs to happen is someone needs to willingly sacrifice themselves to light this brazier, and then the rest can go free.
Just this one.
Yeah. Just this one.
What
so
about
if
one?
someone has a knife, you can go ahead and slit my throat, and we'll all get out of here.
Right, okay, hold still.
No,
Okay.
no, this is not what we're doing right now. No. This is not what we're doing right now.
Well,
Is it? Wait, is this what we're doing?
one must become
you volunteered.
the light within the dark. They will gain immortality. If I choose to become the light within the dark, then someone will get immortality. So yeah.
I think technically you, but
Yeah,
is this what you want?
I kind of got the feeling like the immortality is actually more just like eternal undeath is like a candle. Like you're gonna be a candle forever.
Well,
Kind of what I got.
as you two know, I have taken an oath of redemption for some past evils. So it seems only fair that I would be the one to sacrifice myself. So go ahead. Just right on there.
Right, okay.
I think-
Put some newspaper down or something with someone because
No. If you want to be all noble and do this, you're gonna have to do it yourself.
I only have a hammer and javelins.
I was just thinking about Cass doing the
That's
equivalent
funny.
of slitting his own throat with a warhammer and just bashing his larynx in over and over again.
I don't want to see that.
So if someone wants to lend me a dagger or a knife of some sort,
well, no, hold on now. Bree's got a point. I mean, we're not going to starve to death like right away. We got a little bit of time to like explore like other options here.
so no.
Maybe there's something else we can do.
Okay.
Either way, it's fine.
no worries either way. no worries if
Checking
not.
in. Wanted to kill myself. Let me know! Exclamation point. Smiley face. Right. Okay. Well, fuck. What if we try talking to these ghost fires? Maybe we can get something from them.
See if we can talk to them.
Can you speak ghost fire?
I mean, maybe they speak Elvish.
Let's find out. Let's go talk to one of the flames.
And go up to one in Elvish, be like, "Hello? Anyone in there? Hello?"
You wait a moment. No response.
Let's talk in
I
deep
guess we
speech.
could talk and probably say something like, "Oh my God, I've been here for millennia. Please help me." Presumably, I would think.
I would like to imagine deep speech just sounds like, so I think I'd do that to one of the breachers. And all I'm saying is like, "Hello, can you hear me?" But it just sounds.
You wait a moment, and nothing happens.
No, okay.
Oh, apparently I do have a favorite terrain. It's a mountain. I don't suppose we count as being in the mountains right now.
Nope.
Are
Okay.
these mountains? Incidentally, I mean, as a player, I don't know what your classes are. What would I know about your guys' like capabilities? I feel like we would know each other's capabilities at this point pretty well.
For sure.
I'm a bare-fisted fighter.
Okay.
I did literally just say I was a paladin, Oath of Redemption. So like, I've used my divine sense already. You know that I have some weird power where like, I can sort of transform myself and frighten people. What else am I singing? Oh, I'm also really good with my shield. So, great in combat. Useless otherwise. I'm absolutely the muscle.
Yeah, I'm good in darkness and fighting things in darkness.
Same here.
But there's nothing to fight.
And apparently I'm pretty strong against necrotic.
Well, no one's got any like, no one's got any like spells that might help with this. What do they like? I don't know.
Can I try and cast darkness? I'm gonna spend 2 key points and cast darkness on one of the braziers.
Yeah, one of the big titty braziers.
One of the big
These busty
braziers.
ghosts.
Yeah, you can cast dark. Can you cast? You can cast darkness centered on an object, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You cast the darkness spell. You sort of center yourself and do some dope monk shit, and
Monk shit.
the darkness. You see that literally in the center of the flame is a small moat of darkness, and similar to like before, how the light was sort of compressed and squelched by the darkness. In this case, you can see the darkness fighting against the light. As it grows, the flickering flames of the white light gets pressed out and out and out, and just when you think it might overwhelm the light starts to go the other direction, like a Kamehameha wave going wrong, before eventually the darkness is squelched within the light. It's unclear if there is sort of remaining darkness in the background because the light is so powerful. In other words, it's like the darkness might still be there, but it's just not dark because the light is circumventing it. You know what I'm saying? But it was unable to do anything notable to the brazier.
That was my only idea.
Well, if someone would like to lend me a dagger, I have an idea.
I mean, that's a good plan B. Let's make sure we exhausted everything else first.
And Z more like.
Here.
Well, I will take a nap by the one brazier on the inside of the loop, and you guys let me know when you're ready for my idea. I'm just gonna take a short rest. That's all.
Okay. So you slump down by the that one unlit brazier on the inner wall.
Yep.
And just try to shut your eyes and just try to relax. Do you do anything to sort of like stay watch, or do you actually like allow yourself to sleep?
Oh, I totally allow myself to sleep.
Okay. Bree and Grimshot, what do you guys do?
Let's go back and talk to that bloke who we
I guess.
talked to earlier.
I don't know what else to do.
Let's go see what else we can find out from that the guy we were talking to earlier.
Yeah, you guys continue around the circle. You've already determined that it is a circle, so you know if you just continue forward, you will. You're not sure which way is faster, backward or forward, but you continue forward. One under one sort of light that is squelched, light, dark, and hold, please. Grimshot, you see this first. You see in the distance your new human acquaintance, where he was slumped over resting, is now on his feet. Oh, I should say that while you guys were going around in the circle, you also saw that further down the path was his heavy armor and greatsword laying on the ground. So he had taken off the heavy armor at some point. Greatsword was on the ground. As you guys are walking back along the loop, Grimshot you see first off in the darkness, well before anyone could ever dream that they could be seen. You see this man, his name is Friedan. You see Friedan gripping his greatsword again in both hands.
Can I do like an insight to see if he's like trying to do like an ambush on us, or?
Yeah, roll insight.
5.
Oh.
5's good enough. This dude looks ready to strike. He's literally like corked like a baseball bat at the plate.
I'll reach out and touch Bree. Be like,
What?
Can I? Am I visible right now, or?
Let's say yes.
Okay. I'll reach out and touch Bree and put up a finger to my mouth, and I'll kind of mime. I'll motion back to the way we came.
Okay. Yeah, you go back the way you came. Yeah, nothing happened.
Come back to Kess.
Cass?
Yes.
Right. So Frieden wants to kill us, I think.
Oh well, let's go. And I like stand up and just
wait,
flip the hammer. I assume I didn't rest long enough for the short rest, right? Okay. What are we waiting for?
Well, I mean, are we sure that we what is it you want him to kill you? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I was going to kill him so that he would not kill you.
Oh, that's right.
Uh-oh.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah. This is all very strange.
I mean, we can lock him down, but like, if that doesn't work, then yeah, we'll kill him, and then we'll get a razor lit.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm going to lead the way.
Okay. Grimshot, do you stay? Kess, do you keep the light lit? And Grimshot, do you stay like close by, or do you hang back?
I'll hang back, so I'll.
Can we go the other way around? Can I go the other way around?
Sure.
I do not keep the light lit.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll hang back and probably basically try to stay invisible. I'll have my bow and arrow out.
Yeah. You stay. You continue to approach in the direction that Kess does, or do you loop back the other way with Bree?
I will stay with. I'll stay with Kess.
Okay. So Kess approaches light out with Grimshot close behind, trying to stay in darkness as much as possible. Bree loops back the other way. As you approach, Grimshot, you are incredible in darkness, and you can see. You guys don't know this, but Frieden does not have dark vision. So this dude is like trembling blind, and you are not fully capable. You're not at your absolute best, but you're certainly better than anyone else here. And you've noticed that this darkness seems to have an incredible sort of damping effect on the sound. You've never heard really any footfalls echoing through this stone hallway, which normally would be full of sound. And as you approach, you have you can easily get the jump on. You believe you can easily get the jump on Frieden if you want to take the first strike.
I think for right now, I'll let's see, what's my range here. If I can get, I'll get as close as I can get, to like have line of sight to him, but still be in darkness.
Yeah, you can probably. he started to inch forward, so you're not going to be able to like take forever to line it up, but you can find a gap between braziers and outside of his sight for sure that you can probably maintain for at least, you know, a few seconds. He is continuing to approach you, and the closer he gets, the, you know, he'll eventually find you.
Sure. I'm just gonna ready my shot and basically ready to shoot as soon as combat starts.
What does that mean, combat starts?
Like
if
I guess
he takes a swing at you first?
Sorry?
Like you're waiting for him to take a swing, or you'll take a shot first?
Yeah, I'm waiting for either him or one of us to attack, basically.
Okay. Kess, what about you?
I'm actually just gonna go like right up to him. Ideally where he can't see me, or will at least like not assuming whether or not he has dark vision, like coming up from behind, and I want to get like uncomfortably close and just be like,
well, you're not coming up from behind, you're approaching him head on.
oh, okay, then I'll just go ahead and approach him slowly but like firmly. You're gonna want to put that blade down before your brains get splattered on the wall, which is an intimidation tactic.
You can roll intimidation.
Cool.
Bree, in the meantime, you're moving rather swiftly around the hallway. You feel safe not only in the shadow but in the silence, and you can see not only Frieden in front of you, back turned to you, but you also see Kess another, let's say, like 20 feet before him. Although he said comfortably close, so you're like fully within, like, are you like right in his face, Kess?
I'm in his face, yeah.
Okay. What did you roll on intimidation?
That is a nat 20 plus 6.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Specifically because you rolled a nat 20, you see his stature change. He doesn't appear, even with your terrible insight, with your intimidation, it's not that he appears afraid of you, it's that his whole body slumps, and he appears to have given up.
What exactly was your plan, friend?
I don't know long. It's gotta be somebody.
It's gotta be 2. Did you really think 3-1 you would win?
No. Which is why I was going for 1 for 1.
So you are willing to die, and you are indeed planning on it.
He starts to tremble a little bit. And despite your earlier intimidation tactic, which stopped him from taking a strike, there she goes again. He wholeheartedly believes that death is the only key forward, and he has the least amount of time left. And with no other choice at this point, he does take a swing at you. Because you have sort of the upper hand in terms of this is clearly not going to surprise you. We're going to go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay.
And Mika, you can change the music to battle music.
Hey, it's pretty good initiative.
Now, because he's attacking, does my ready to action go off?
Yeah, let's say yes. What did you guys get?
I got a 19.
I got a 16.
5.
Okay. So first thing is Grimshot.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I get a 18 because I have a +2 to my initiative. Unless that's already accounted for. Sorry.
Cool. So Grimshot gets his sort of surprise attack, which I believe from a Gloomstalker is terrible.
It's
and by
not that
terrible,
great.
I mean good.
Assuming so, yeah. the first start of your first turn of each combat, which I guess that's what this is. My walking speed increases by 10 feet, and I can make an additional weapon attack. If I take an attack action on that turn, I make one additional weapon attack as part of that action, dealing an extra 1d8 damage. Okay. So do I just get one attack right now, or normally, or?
Yes, because it's a readied action, so you just get one attack, but it sounds like you roll an extra d8.
Well, so it says. Sorry, one sec. Is this the attack action, or is this something else?
It is the attack action, yes.
Okay, because it says if you take the attack action on that turn, you can make one additional weapon attack as part of that action.
Okay, so
it sounds like I make 2 attacks.
You make 2 attacks. Yeah.
For this. Okay.
One readied attack, and then a second bonus attack for being a Gloomstalker.
Okay, cool.
And one of them or both of them gets an extra d8.
I think just the second attack will get an extra d8.
Okay.
So okay, first attack. It's a 13 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
He's not wearing his armor. Trying to refocus.
It is 10 damage
on my face. 10 damage. Okay. Second attack.
Second attack is 21 to hit.
That hits.
For second. 18 damage.
10 and 18.
Yeah.
This human man, a once proud fighter, exhausted, emaciated, dehydrated, desperate, corks his sword to take a desperate strike at Kess, and before he can even initiate it, he takes 2 arrows to the body. He never sees them coming. He makes no attempt to dodge. He has nothing but weak points, and they both pierce him. He staggers back, immediately starts coughing up blood, slumps down, and with the initiative going to Kess at the top of the order, he just says, he coughs, which I won't do into the microphone. He coughs and just says, "Just end it."
So he has HP left. He's still up.
He is
He's doing the Mortal Kombat finish.
He's wobbling. You hear "finish him" in the back of your head.
Wait, in the back of my head?
Yeah.
You guys not played Mortal Kombat?
Oh no, I thought. Okay, no, I was thinking like some other being was telling me. I didn't realize it was like yeah.
Yeah, he's on one knee, head down, like waiting for the executioner's axe, so to speak.
I don't even use my hammer. I just reach down, put a hand on his forehead, and heal him for 10 HP.
Okay, you heal him for 10. Now it's his turn. You put his hand on his head. It glows for a minute. Even in the darkness, all of you can see this glow for just a moment. He sort of begins to stand up, and it's now his turn. Yes, he looks at you with bewilderment, and then you can just see his face contort into anger, and it's just like you can see him, Grimshot, you see him through the darkness regrip, and Bree, you see this too. He regrips his sword and he just says, "If you won't do it, I'll make you." And he swings, kind of corks his hips and takes a couple of swings at you with his greatsword.
Sure.
He attacks with disadvantage because he's exhausted. The first attack is a 17 to hit.
No.
Second attack is a natural 1. The first attack, you just easily, in sort of an emasculating way, you just knock it aside. This man at probably the weakest point since he's been an adult. The second attack, he swings wildly, completely misses, and loses his foothold as he falls to the ground as his sword goes flying out of his hands down the hallway. That brings it to Grimshot in the actual initiative order. You've seen all of this.
Right, so are we killing this guy or not? What's the plan here, gang?
I believe I have a better solution.
What's that?
I vote no killing.
No killing?
We're gonna kill him? What's going on?
That wasn't my plan.
Okay.
I thought about it for a second, I'll admit, because I think I did say that I was going to kill him. But then I realized how incredibly easy it is to not kill him.
All right, so Grimshot, what are you doing? Time's ticking.
I honestly want to just continue this conversation for as long as I can. So, I mean, if this is my first time. Okay, then that's I will. Well, can I still ready in action?
Sure.
I will ready to attack him again if either us or he attacks again.
Okay. Bree, it goes to you. You are behind him. He is on the floor. His sword, by the way, which you saw coming, thankfully, his sword comes flying basically right at your head. But with your dark vision, you're able to duck under it. It's big enough and heavy enough that you do hear a light. You would expect this big clamor as it hits the ground, but you hear just a little bit of sound. You now see this man disarmed on the ground. At your mercy, it's up to you.
Are you getting up?
What's the point?
I'm gonna hold an action to grapple him if he attempts to get up and make any resistance towards us.
You could only do that if you're currently within 5 feet of him.
Can I move within 5 feet of him then?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, so you're now standing over him and you're readying a grapple if he goes to stand.
Yeah.
Okay. It's back to Kess.
I reach into a small pouch on my pocket and I, doing some magical chanting, just kind of sprinkle some sand on him. And I'm casting the sleep spell.
Okay, roll your 60, whatever the fuck it is. I think it's a bunch of D4s, right?
It's 5d8s.
Oh shit, yeah, I mean roll them, but...
Here, might be easier to do this.
You literally brought him to 1, by the way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's falling asleep.
Okay. Yeah, he
32.
You just see his body go limp as he falls asleep. His he just sort of splays out, and this is probably the best rest he's had in days as he succumbs to magical sleep versus trying to sleep through his heavy labored breathing with his current sort of biological impediments. Boy's asleep for a minute, right? Is it a minute?
It is exactly a minute, I believe.
Okay.
The
Boy's
spell
asleep for
lasts a minute.
Yep. We'll stay in initiative for now.
Cool.
You guys can kind of be free within it if you want.
Okay.
Just basically you have a minute to decide what you want to do.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna go ahead and start tying him up because I think the only way he wakes up is if he's attacked, right?
Okay.
So. Yeah, each creature affected by the spell falls unconscious until the spell ends, so a minute. The sleeper takes damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap the sleeper awake. So,
okay.
Theoretically, if I try to tie him up, he shouldn't be struggling at all.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you have rope?
I have 50 feet of hempen rope, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, if that's what you want to do, I think... I mean... I'm not even going to make you make a check. You can tie this man up in a minute, I'm assuming.
Listen, even if I can't, I can go for the hands first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you just tying his hands, or just his feet, or are you doing a hog tie, everything's together? Just describe it to me and consider it done.
So we'll say that I like cut the rope in half or something, and I tie a good amount just around his wrists and a bunch just around his legs. So it's not hog-tied. It's not going to be uncomfortable for him.
Yeah,
but he's
just
not
two
going to be able
separate
to,
pieces.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to do shit.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything? Okay.
I'm gonna
The
sit
rest
down in defeat.
the rest of the minute goes by. He comes to. He kind of. The fuck. He sees his hands and feet tied. He's just like. What is this?
That is rope.
Yeah. Thank you. I know that.
Well, we're still working on a way out, but no one necessarily has to die. And if someone does, there might be 3 braziers for people to light. So, we should probably try to work that out first. I personally think a sacrifice has to be made willingly, of your own hand, but I have been shot down on that one a couple times.
I mean, it's someone we could try, I suppose, but like, that's kind of that's kind of like a point of no return. You know what I mean?
I can assure you that Variable did not give his life willingly.
Exactly.
I mean, we're actually kind of assuming that, like, once we get all these things lit up, that something's going to happen in the first place. Like, we don't actually know that. Do you know anything about this place?
I was told that, you know, like, there was supposed to be something, you know, big here, powerful, something worth coming for, and then just to find light in the darkness. That's all I know.
Light in the dark.
Or be the light in the darkness. I don't remember.
Be the light in the darkness.
Well, someone told us to find the light in the darkness, and then when we read up, there was a message written on the platform up there. It said, "Immortality awaits those who would be the light in the darkness."
Well, there you go. Could all live forever as a flaming
Fucking candle.
flaming candle.
Maybe, or maybe it means something else. Like maybe it is like a metaphor or something. Like maybe we're supposed to not kill people and like be, you know, like a beacon of hope or something, some bullshit like that.
Maybe.
Or it means you have to willingly choose to be the light, which is what happens when someone dies.
And then how would that be different?
Well, here's a question: if all these like white flame thing are people who die, like where are all the bodies?
Yeah, I thought about that too. The thing is, before Theravel and I got here, there was nothing here. You know, there's no signs of death or struggle, or you know, now there's fucking shit everywhere.
Wait, there wasn't any like. You said there wasn't any death, like there wasn't any smell or anything?
No, I mean there's nothing here.
What happened?
I don't know, but I don't know how long this place has been like this. I don't know how long those fires have been burning. I mean,
Can we go investigate the inside light?
the inside brazier.
Thank
The
you.
one on the inside of the curvature.
Yeah, you can go
Again.
back to the inside brazier. Theravel just, you know, is kind of at your mercy, so he just sits there
I
far
just-
too
I
weak
just
to try to.
Throw him over his shoulder.
Oh, what's your strength?
18.
All right, this is a big guy, but you can move at a slightly slower pace. But you guys aren't necessarily in a hurry.
Sure.
I guess he's pretty light in this case. He's probably lost, you know, like 30 pounds or something since he's been in here.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys make your way back to that inner brazier. It is, it's the only one on that wall. It otherwise looks the same to you. I guess if you guys all are sort of hyper focused on that brazier,
I mean, we're studying it.
Yeah, everyone can make either investigation checks or perception checks.
Investigation it is.
Got
That
a
is
20.
another nat 20.
Oh wait, sorry, you said perception was an option, right?
Yeah.
I got a 23 perception.
25 is my total.
13.
13 perception or investigation?
Perception.
Okay. You acquire no new information. You take a really close look, and you're just not seeing it. Grimshot, you got a 20, you said? A dirty 20?
I got a 23.
23 in which?
Perception.
And then Kaz got a natural 20. A natural 20 for 25?
Yes, in investigation.
Investigation. All right. Damn, those are some good rolls. All right, here's what happens. Grimshot, with your incredible vision, you not only take a really good look at the brazier, but at the area surrounding it, which is dark because this aligns in sort of a gap from the other side. So this area is in this thick darkness. You guys can see because of, well, I guess Kess's light has been out, but let's just say he has relit it. You guys are able to see, like, kind of, but it is tough. But you up close take a really good look not only at the brazier but in the area around it. And for the first time in a while, you take a look to the floor by your feet. The floor is flat stone, but this seems like a little bit crazy to you. You might already be sort of like losing it a little bit, but you get down on your hands and knees, and you sort of feel like there might be, like, I don't know, like a little bit of a indentation or something in the floor that you hadn't noticed before. It's very subtle, and you're not sure if it means anything, but you do see it. You point it out to the others, and in combination with the natural 20-25 investigation, Kess looks at it and, convinced by Grimshot that it could be relevant, starts thinking like, okay, let's assume for a minute it is relevant, because if it's not, then it doesn't matter. If it's relevant, what could this possibly be? And Kess, you sort of start tracing it with your finger, because it's almost too slight to really even see. You start tracing it with your finger. You go along the floor in one direction, along the floor in the other direction. And it takes you guys a good maybe 15 minutes following it around. But Kess, you have become convinced that there is a slight indentation in the floor of this place that connects this brazier to all of the other braziers. At least as far as like drawing a line from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say it's an indentation, is it like lines, or I guess what's the shape of the indentation?
It's like if you imagine like two tiles pressed up against each other, and a lot of times there's kind of like a sort of like a half-inch gap where there's like grout. You know what I mean? This is like that if they were pressed tightly together and were completely uniform. So like you can kind of feel that there's like a little something there, but it's very hard to notice. Does that make sense? Like in an otherwise smooth stone floor that appears to be some indentation or crease or something there.
So it's kind of like there's a very faint line, like there are very, very faint lines going from this brazier to all the other braziers, basically?
Correct. Basically comes down from the base of the brazier, which you can't really see because the shadows are rushing past it. But if you start at the floor where the shadow is not, and you trace it out to the center of the hallway, then it sort of runs along the center of the hallway and goes up into the base of all the other braziers on the other side.
I see. So it's more of a single line, not like they're not kind of like 19 lines.
It's a single branching line.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So,
what an incredible roll!
yeah.
I don't think it would have given you that information if we didn't get a natural 20 and another higher than 20 roll on the opposing thing. So you guys were able to work together to see that.
If this is like I mean, I don't have the reference to be able to refer to this, but if this was like a circuit, like there's like a maybe it's like if this line connects them all, maybe we should make sure there's like they're fully connected, like the ones that are not lit up. Let's go find the ones that aren't lit up for a second. I got an idea.
Yes.
Oh,
The
okay.
connections, or else it means that we need to light them all up to light that one up. If they're connected still.
Let me. I'm gonna go find one of the
Yeah,
braziers.
let's go look at them.
Sorry.
Yeah, you guys can go look at the other unlit braziers.
Yeah.
There's the two side by side. Well, they're not side by side. They're adjacent. They're 60 feet apart.
Yeah.
So they are like. So yeah, so the two unlit ones are like. Okay, there's not like not a lit one in the middle of them.
Correct.
I'd like to check from, or I guess maybe Cash should do this if he has a better investigation. But basically, what I'll propose is that we check between one of the empty ones and the lit one that's like the next over, and basically check that line, see if there's any like breaks
it's
in anything
connected.
blocking it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll happily do it. Oh. What?
Oh, Matt, we lose you?
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. So what is Kess doing? Sorry.
I'm checking the line between a lit one and one of the unlit ones. Looking for what am I looking for, Jamie?
Anywhere like if the line stops, like there's a break in the line or something with like there's like dirt or something blocking it, or like anything that's like might be interfering with this connection, assuming there is one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I actually won't make you roll because you're being very specific in what you're looking for, and yeah, you can't perceive any sort of break in the line.
Can I shove my crowbar into this indent?
You can try.
I would love to try. Please let me try.
Yeah. You can roll if you want.
Sure. What am I? Athletics or strength?
Just straight strength.
Okay. 14.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay, that's fair.
Nope. Doesn't do anything.
Mm.
You're not sure what this floor is made out of, but it doesn't succumb to your crowbar attack.
Have we tried pushing the outer wall?
Just the firm stone wall.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's basically all I need to know.
Yeah, because the braziers have dissipated the shadow at the wall.
Got it.
I'm starting to think you're right.
And
I don't want to admit it.
the braziers don't move in any other direction, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't suppose anyone brought any like pets with them, or anyone have any bugs on them we could maybe sacrifice to this thing?
Bree happened to bring her cat, and she's happy to sacrifice it.
No.
Brutal.
She's been sitting in front of me this entire time. She's just sitting here.
Grimside will kill himself before he kills the cat.
We'll say that it's been another. You guys have taken another couple hours investigating different braziers, just walking around, tracing your steps, just like desperate to find something that you've missed. You of course can't say for sure that you haven't missed anything. That finding that indentation that seems to connect the braziers was, kind of a stroke of luck. Meanwhile, Frieden is just sitting slumped, still a bit rejuvenated from the food, but still very weak. Frustrated, and even begins to mock you gently, not in a way that he takes pleasure in, but just sort of like you guys are wasting your time kind of a thing. But again, of course, he's at your mercy. We'll say that he benefits from a short rest. If you guys don't try to move him and he's here for another 6 hours, he'll long rest. But yeah, so it's been another few hours, 2 to 3 hours.
I'm gonna spend a little bit of time. I'll go to one of the lit braziers and just spend some time see if there's anything I can do to interact with the flame, kind of run my hand over it, see if I can I don't know, try different objects on it to see if it will respond at all.
What if I cast light on a brazier?
Cast what?
Light on a brazier.
Light on a brazier?
Maybe.
Yeah, Kaz, you cast light on a brazier and it works. The normal light that you would expect emanates from the brazier. It doesn't affect the flickering white flame otherwise, but it's there. Grimshot, you put your hand right in the flame, and it's a powerful light, but again doesn't burn you. It doesn't seem to react in any way to the presence of your hand. It just sort of flickers around it. You kind of try to get down into the base, which again probably requires Kess's help to lift you up. There doesn't appear to be any wick or anything in the base of it, which you could have seen from an unlit brazier as well, that has any kind of mechanism or any kind of gas line, which isn't very fancy. But yeah, you don't discover anything new about the brazier through a thorough investigation.
Okay. One other thing I want to test. The lines run the lines connect the one brazier to all the other brazier, or we know that all these braziers are connected to each other. Mm-hmm. Is there any? I want to follow the line around and see if it connects to anything else in the room.
Sure. Yeah, you do so, and it doesn't.
Well, I think we may have exhausted all of our other options here.
Okay. Dagger, please.
All right. Bree, any of... I hate to make you, Bree, do you want me to ask if this is okay? Or do you want to just not be complicit in this?
I'm gonna walk away.
Right, okay. I will hand, Kess a short sword.
Thank you. However...
It was nice knowing you, Kess. I'm very sorry it had to end this way.
My hypothesis has changed. I do believe 2 people will still need to die. I think the 2 braziers out here will power up this one, which will make it visible. So I'm not sure that it matters that I'm doing it myself, but I presume neither of you want to. Should I kill Frieden for you?
I mean, if you sure. Cass, is there anything you want? I don't know that much about. I guess we haven't really talked about if you have family or anything. God, I'm suddenly realizing I don't know you all that well.
I'm pretty sure I told you that I'm a fallen Asmar, and I've actually been shunned from heaven. So
right, I don't listen to most things. Right, okay. Anything you want us to give a message to anyone or anything like that?
I don't believe there are any loved ones left for me. So, remember me.
Tough.
Sure. Yeah. All right. God, this is a real bummer.
I can go take care of Frieden. I'll get out of here. I couldn't think of a more
the old dusty trail here.
Like a casual euphemistic term for this. So I'm gonna go.
Let me. How about we? I suppose we should take care of the other bloke first, just to make sure this actually works.
Well,
I could have been lying for all we know.
I figured neither of you would want to do it, so I was gonna take care of it before I took care of myself.
I say we have a free for all.
I mean,
We'll
if you
fight
prefer,
and see who survives.
I do it.
No,
I can do it if you
I
want.
don't. This doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it definitely feels pretty dark, even for me.
Even for me, and I have umbral sight.
I have red fucking glowing eyes, and this feels pretty fucked up.
I'm gonna pull out my dagger. We're going at this. Come on. One last blaze of glory. How about it?
I'm putting it to my throat.
Oh, come on.
I'm
really sure we've tried everything else here.
I'm going to take care of Frieden, and then myself.
Fine.
Good. I like put it down, and I'm going back to Frieden now.
Do the Grimshot follows. Bree, do you follow or do you stay where you are by the left side brazier?
I'll follow just within sight.
Kess, you approach with your fellow adventurers behind you, approaching where Frieden is. You see him long before he sees you, and as you approach, I assume you're approaching kind of slowly and deliberately. Or are you like rushing in to like surprise him?
I'm moving sort of casually, actually, because I'm going to talk to him for a second first.
Yeah, as you approach, he looks up at you and kind of gives a weak smile. A weak sort of like smile.
Hey, Frieden, we've decided that you were right. Is there a way you want to go?
I think my preferred way would have been to not know.
Well, I doubt you'll see this coming then, and I've cast Toll the Dead.
Okay. Okay, that's a wisdom save, is that right?
So it is a wisdom save.
Okay.
What you guys see is me like reach down and chanting, and like my eyes start glowing, and like wispy silvery smoke is coming out as I'm just doing this chant.
He fails the save, so go ahead and roll damage.
Dope. So that is 2d12. Okay. Man, I hope this is 11 damage. 6 plus 8. Definitely over 11. 14 total.
What kind of damage is Toll the Dead again?
Necrotic.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll so you start chanting this shit. What do the other people see?
What I described is what they see. What he sees is roughly the same thing, but the world kind of goes incredible, like even darker. I know he can really only see me anyway.
Yeah.
And just behind me, the silhouette of these bells gonging, and just boom, boom, boom.
He hears the gonging of these spectral bells, and for a minute, you can see a brief look of terror on his face as he recognizes his mortality. But then he closes his eyes, and you see him relax for a moment as he takes in the first sound that he's heard in 2 days, 5 days, a week. He's really not sure. And as the gongs ring in his ears, he sort of begins to quiver for a moment, and his eyes roll back in his head, and he falls over, dead. You all see Frieden slump over, hands and feet still bound. It hardly seems fair. And after a minute, 20 seconds, 30 seconds goes by, and you're not seeing anything. 40 seconds, another 10. Each second feels like an eternity. And you begin to have incredible doubt that you may have killed this unarmed man, exhausted, defenseless, for no good reason, even though he asked for it, in a way. And just as you sort of begin to succumb to this horrible thought, you see light begin to emanate from his chest. Slowly at first, like a wisp of steam off your morning coffee or tea. It continues to emanate out of his chest until it takes a roughly humanoid form hovering above him, head down. And then a few moments later, his head looks up, and he looks over at the direction of Kess, and sort of makes eye contact with Kess, but Kess, you don't see any real understanding in the look on his face. It's as if he's just sort of confused. And then, just as he described in the following seconds, the darkness, almost hungry to squelch him, or maybe to use him, begins to create a silhouette around him, and then slowly compresses in on him until this light that had left his body is compressed into a ball, a rough, glowing, hot white sphere. And it hovers there for a moment, sort of cradled in the darkness, and then the darkness almost appears to, almost like passing a person crowd surfing at a concert, right? It's sort of like, just sort of carrying it along until it is able to hoist it and drop it down into the nearest darkened brazier. And as it settles into the brazier erupts in the same white flame as the other 18 now, with only one unlit brazier remaining. And if there was any doubt in any of your minds before if this was real, it becomes very real in this moment.
Right. Okay then. So.
Well, I'll live with the guilt of that for the rest of my life, but it won't be very long. And I go ahead and take the sword and put it right to my. What? What?
What?
Sorry, what?
Do you want me to live?
No, I'm gonna give you a hug first.
No.
Aw.
Hug you back.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but I have to turn away though.
Wait. If someone wants this, and I hold out my amulet, it's actually magic. It's pretty useful.
What does it do?
Basically, it kind of gives you a second chance at doing something. Just out of game, it's a clockwork amulet. Basically, when you attack, it lets you like try again.
Lets you turn a roll into a 10, I believe.
Oh yeah. It's and so instead of rolling, you just get a 10. So you get
that's right.
your, like, for an attack roll. So for someone who would do like a melee attack is probably best for. Something with a high addition, proficiency, whatever.
Yeah.
It's been an honor to adventure with you guys, and I'm just gonna.
As Bree turns away and Grimshot forces himself to watch. Yeah, almost in a way of respect for his friend and fellow adventurer, to not turn away. Kess,
It's not even like he like feels. He mostly just feels like awkward more than anything else. It's like.
Take it back.
Kind of like, it's like someone told like a really embarrassing story. So like.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I take it back. There's no warrior's honor. There's nothing cool about this. Grimshot's just like awkward.
It's like it's been trauma dumped on him, and he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to respond to this.
You're really oversharing. Kess draws the blade across his throat, and Kess, as you obviously knew this was coming because you chose to do it willingly, but as the blood starts to rush out, if you have any final words, now is the time to say them.
I think he said his piece, you know.
Comfortable with the fate that he's chosen and hoping that this brings the redemption that he's quested for, Kess makes the sacrifice. It doesn't take long before he drops to his knees, falls over, and stops moving. And just like with Frieden before him, it takes a minute, but slowly the soul of Kess departs his body, is cradled and compressed by the darkness, fed to the 20th brazier. And as the 20th brazier erupts in that bright white light, you do see out of the bottom of each brazier just a little trace of that light starts to crawl down where you found the track, down the wall, across the floor to the center, down the center, and one by one each of these traces of light connect until there is a sort of that running light all along the circumference of the circular room. And finally, once all the lights are connected, you sort of turning away, Bree because you actually care, and Grimshot because you thought that whole thing was honestly cringe. You run towards the final unlit brazier, the only one on the inner wall, and you watch that trace of light cross the floor up into that brazier, and that final brazier does light. This light is blinding, and it continues to grow and grow as the light from all of the other braziers dims and dims. And as this one brazier, having collected the souls of 20, of which you know 3, and of which 17 could have been aeons ago, you have no idea. Finally, there's a light powerful enough on the inner wall to dispense with the darkness underneath it. And as the darkness parts, there is now a path forward. You peek in. There's not a long hallway, but Grimshot, you peek in first. Bree follows. You take one last look back at Kess, and you each step through the threshold of the newly created door. And, yo, it's 10-10. This has got to be a 2-shot. So, everybody watching, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll figure it out. We'll talk with Sal and figure it out, but we're definitely going to do either this will be the regular Wednesday show next week, or we'll do a follow-up sort of different night, but we'll definitely have a second part of this.
Wow.
We'll find out what happens next.
God damn, okay.
Thanks again, everybody. There's enough left that we can't just finish it, so, okay, bye!
We're so reluctant to kill.
Plug
Yeah.
Okay, we gotta plug our shit.
We
gotta plug the shit.
Go,
yeah, so Saturday, I'm not used to this. Saturday is the pod. Go vote in the Discord for what you want to hear us talk about next week. Tell me if this was boring or fun. Tell everybody how cringe Garrett was when he sacrificed himself for redemption.
It was pretty
honestly, super awkward. We have our reroll shows every Tuesday. Michaela and Aaron do streams. Garrett does streams sometimes. We love everybody. Is there anything else I need to say?
We can specify that Mika and Aaron play games often on Monday.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Often on Monday they play games. So most of the nights of the week you got some Dicey content or some Dicey family content. And again, hit us up in the Discord. share with your friends. The VOD will be up, so if you missed this latter half, check out the VOD, and then we'll be sure to bring you the second half as soon as possible.
Yes, thank you guys for sticking around. If you did, amazing. Y'all were great.
Yeah.
All that. Anyway.
Later.
All that.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
There we go.
Oh Lord.